Yo, what's going on, guys?
What's up? What's up,
Welcome.
yo?
Welcome to another night of
Yes,
High Ground.
another night of high ground where we talk everything Fortnite, specifically Fortnite collectibles. We hope y'all enjoy the show. What's new, Dylan?
Not much, not much. I haven't picked up anything.
Hmm.
I don't think. Let me think real quick. No, I don't think I picked up anything.
Yeah,
I'm working on some comic stuff. Um, JT, I saw you on Twitter talking
yeah, I
to
seen it too.
you saw that too.
Yeah.
So Timeless Order posted that and I was like, wait, no, don't be posting that everywhere.
Hmm.
Um did you see any of those that we're talking about? So they were black and white sketches of
Yeah,
Fortnite Zero War.
yeah. I seen all of them, and I actually talked to to the artist that did it. That JT ended up scooping up three of the covers for it, but I just was talking to him on the content side. But yeah, I seen all the black and whites. That Mecha Team Leader one was dope too.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I've reached out on some.
Hmm.
I'm interested to hear back to see what the deal is because it says like reach out to see if they're available, but it says available. So I know JT scored some, so he probably picked the ones I wanted. Um,
And they were good price too. Great
yeah, they
price.
were decent, and actually I like the art. Looking at the black and white sketches,
Hmm.
like compared to like
Hmm.
Foundation comic, it's like way up there.
Oh yeah, way
Like
up there.
the art's way better.
Yeah,
And
our artwork wise, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
well, has anyone? Did you guys? I wish there was a link to all of like issue 1 for Zero War and issue 2. I guess I could look for the
Hmm.
actual artist and look on his stuff, but
Yeah,
I wish there was a page. I don't know if anybody's found it. Okay, you went after Ice
that's
King
if JT
pages.
didn't get it yet.
Okay, yeah. There was the one with him floating as a ghost was still up there, so I did reach out about that one. But it sounds like you already grabbed it.
Yeah,
So
the one
there's
the
some other
one
ones I want though.
JT got. The one that JT got with him sitting on the throne was hands down the best to me. I like that one a lot. I will say that I like it with the color pop a little bit more, like than the actual sketch, but the artwork on that was amazing. So JT definitely got some great pieces in that.
I like the one when like his ghost is coming out, and then you can see like the
Yeah,
dinosaur on the like left on the right hand pane.
yeah.
He bought all 3 Ice King pages. That's nice. That's a good buy. I'm not a huge Ice King fan, but I really liked it in the comic. Like skin
Uh-huh.
wise, I was off of it, but in the comics, it was like, dang,
Yeah,
he's pretty cool character.
yeah.
The other ones I like are more action shots with the Imagined. Um,
Mhm.
I did reach out about the mech because I thought the mech looked cool with a foundation right and center.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I was about to say it as if JT didn't get it yet, bro.
now, when you say it's not available for sale, is it already going to your collection, or like you're reserving it for when it does go on sale? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to step in. I'm just a little curious there. Um, and there are some. What's up, Black Ash? What's up, Richard? What's up, Joey?
Yeah, what's up, y'all?
There's some other pages I want, but I actually haven't gone through. I should go through the comic and see what I actually like.
Yeah. Man, JT has turned into which JT, we're definitely getting you on the interview, bro. So you just got to prepare for that. Hopefully you down with it because JT has turned into the original art collector, bro. Like he has that in the bag.
Wow. So you're making payments on the whole issue? You're a legend. God dang.
Kari, what's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Happy y'all
I
here.
should have been more proactive, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, over here playing chess with JT. Mount
Mount
Rushmore
Rushmore
sports
Sports, what's
cards.
up,
What's
bro?
going on? What's going on?
What's new?
So, I don't know. I guess we can start about the season. So the season coming up is going to be called Paradise.
Hmm.
Did you see the ads?
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm not
yeah.
going to play them, but there are some leaked Fortnite ads for the next season where
Hmm.
basically real life people are like eating cereal and then like it turns to that metallic silver, which they're
Hmm.
calling chrome, right?
Yep, Chrome.
So and the next season is called I'll share this.
Yeah, JT's the original artwork collector, bro. I ain't competing with that.
I'm not trying to compete. I'm
No, I mean
trying to
compete.
learn and like follow in the footsteps.
No, I mean
So
compete as in like trying to get a piece for a specific. Like if a piece pop up, I know JT is on that, man. I like that though.
Yeah, but, I feel like I'm collecting some of the stuff I just like instead of, like, the more, like, like, I feel like issue 1, that's a major collection he already grabbed.
Hmm.
Like, in my opinion, the whole Series 1 Zero War, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
For sure.
I mean, the ads were weird for Fortnite ads, but they're more ad-like than any Fortnite ad there ever was, really.
Well, actually, it's not that weird. They've done it
I
for
mean,
they did it for
different.
season.
I feel like it's a
Yeah,
little different. I liked it. I thought it was kinda interesting.
like I don't know if y'all remember Chapter One, Season 5 when Drift came out. They did the Durr Burger, the real life Durr Burger thing.
Mhm.
They've done a couple like this before. This chinky, weird. I think the rollout was different. The rollout was a little different, but they definitely did something like this before.
When you say you grabbed a decent amount of issue 4, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, issue four
Black
is,
Ash
is
JT got the originals of, issue 1 for Zero War. Every page, it sounds like. Pretty amazing.
I like how a couple and guess I'm talking about Black Ash. I like how a couple high end Fortnite card collectors is finding their way to the high end side of the comics and making their way there. I think another black and white cover sold today. The last time I looked at it, it was at 1100. I don't know what it ended up selling
I
for
know what
though.
it sold for. I was
Yeah,
watching it. I was interested in it. Um, I couldn't even bid on it, to be honest.
yeah.
I'm gonna pull up the actual ended price. So the black and white comic. Let's see. I'm gonna share this again. It says it sold for
Woo!
$2,716.
Shoot. That is
Now, this
crazy.
is the rare comic that we've been talking about for a while now that was auctioned
Mhm.
off, and I think the guy still has more. If my calculations are correct, I think he still has more, a couple
Mhm.
more. I know that he was doing some more of those second bidder offers,
Yeah.
but hopefully he posts more. Um, I was sad that I couldn't afford this one, but that's okay. I want the blue text variant, but
Yeah.
this is major for Fortnite comics. This
It
is a raw
is.
comic sold for $2,700. Like if
Mhm.
this doesn't get the attention of the comic industry, I don't know
Yeah.
what will.
Uh-huh.
Because this is pretty major. So
Yeah.
like I feel like we should be seeing this start popping up on some major like content creators for comics. I don't see why we wouldn't.
And you know what's interesting about that, like Dylan, like you said, a lot of the comic, I mean, just based off of everything else, a lot of the comic book market is technically down, but Fortnite is doing something very unique where it's this dime a dozen comic that you just don't see often. It popped up at the perfect time where it's like, yeah, the rest of the comics may not be doing this, but this is a highlight. And I haven't watched like Comic Time or Mint Hunter comics in a while. I'm interested to see if they've brought it up at some point,
So
because
for
it's
the
interesting.
community, not to cut you off, but if you guys
Yeah,
see this on any of those issues, like if y'all are in that issues on any of those YouTube channels, any creators talking about this, link us, just so that we can stay abreast of like what the community is talking about. Because I haven't been watching
yeah,
their videos either.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, see,
and
that's what
it's
I'm saying, JT. Yeah, like I haven't
yep,
seen them talk about this. Like they didn't talk about the monofoil
the
because
mono,
they
yep,
always go over what's the top selling comics, and they've never list these. So
yeah,
like, I think they get all their information from that one comic book app,
hmm,
and they don't actually like go out there and look for
yeah.
themselves. I think that's why. Um,
Well,
but this has to get someone's attention.
yeah, and you know what's crazy is I'm glad you brought up that app because for the card market, it's the same thing as the card ladder, the sports card investor aspect, where it's like if the community isn't logging their sales, even though they got the data, but like if they're not interactive with it, somehow it just falls out of the graces of everything. But it's crazy when it's like right in front of your face that you still do not, that it still doesn't get recognized. And like Dylan said, it's mainly because they're using one specific app. And obviously it's like a, a sponsorship and, everything like that. But it's just a little weird that it hasn't been mentioned at all. Like Comic Tom channel, one time he had one of the guys that work for him or partner with him. He talked about Fortnite cards with his kid the one time, which was like 15 or
Fortnite
16.
comics or cards? Comics, right?
Comics, yeah,
Yeah. But
comics the one
he
time,
didn't.
and it
That
was
kid. He talked about the crossovers, right?
yeah, they're just the crossovers.
Yeah,
Yep,
just the crossover. So that was like 2 years ago.
Yep. Mhm.
They haven't actually like dived into the comics, which have been really big. Like everyone's liking the comics. So I was reading on Twitter, like going through all the comments and stuff, and the people who are talking with Christos Gage going back and forth, um, it's so interesting to see.
Mhm.
This version cover has no one listed, so this is one of the non signed versions.
Mhm.
Let's see if I can get to the picture. So take that for whatever you want. I know some people want the specific, like the ones that say Donald Mustard on the back or Greg Capullo. This is one of the ones that was not supposed to be signed. So if these were released, this would have been one of the. There would have been more of these printed than the rest.
Right.
But since none of these were released, I think they all have similar print runs of like maybe whatever I said, like 5 to 10
Mhm.
each.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I just having the black and white cover, I think, is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, if I was to list mine for sale, it would not be close to this price.
No, as it shouldn't be.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the people who are buying this
Mhm.
probably getting a really good deal. I don't know if this like the Model 4 I could see coming down some,
Mhm.
but for some reason, like something like this, it's just like
I think
I can't see it going down much.
me
What do you think?
personally me personally, I think the monofoil is almost at the point where it's properly placed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost at the point where it's, like, settled to the place where it should be at this proper value. This one is not even close. This one
Yep.
has a long way to go, and this is for a person that does not have one, so this is just literally this has a long ways to go. It's undeniable, and if you have this comic in your collection, definitely hold on to it because, it's gonna be rare seeing something like this again.
I mean, I wanted to pick up a second one, and
Mhm,
like I wasn't sure what it was going to go for because I know a lot of people picked them up last time that we were talking to. So I was
mhm.
hoping that they were good and like all the big hitters were out of the way. But man, it just shot up. I was like, oh well, at least I have mine. So
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, this is, like, and that's what I'm really enjoying about this is that you can find your pocket anywhere. And obviously, AKA Bog has been very vocal with wanting to be the best comic book collector, or the biggest comic book collector when it comes to Fortnite. But then you have JT on the other side that has the original comics. Then you have, obviously
the
you,
original
Dylan,
sketches, yeah.
sketches, my bad. Then you obviously you Dylan, that has what I'll say is the true inventory. I really like saying that, the true inventory and the rarity.
I'm sure there's
Um,
people who have more inventory than me out there that are just on the down low. But I'm
well,
trying. I'm trying to keep up with you
the
guys.
I and then it's and then it's the masses. I just enjoy the comic book collecting, and I'll pick my spots when the opportunity comes up. But man, it's amazing seeing, honestly.
Yeah, I was really it was really crazy to see. I thought maybe like 1800 might have grabbed this comic, but man, it went over 1,000 more than I thought.
Mhm,
So, I mean, for those who own it, I mean, it's like you probably saw this coming. That's why you bought
mhm,
it last time.
mhm.
Um, but I mean, there's so many ways to collect now for Fortnite,
Yeah.
and I think the comics are one of the most sure things, not investment advice, but more of the sure things than any other collectible just
Mhm,
because of how much value it's adding to the story. And when I'm
mhm,
reading on Twitter, I'm seeing all the people who are literally interested in the story
mhm.
and who are like commenting and saying, trying to figure out loopholes. Um, so I'm just really big on
It's
comics right now. It's
yeah.
kind of hard to look at anything else.
So I'm very much so glad that Dylan really started diving into Twitter, and I seen JT on there recently as well, because I was trying to, like, I'm telling y'all, like, that's where you really see the big picture of it. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to the storyline, where what me and Dylan has been saying for months, where it's like there's people that haven't even thought about collecting that's deep in the lore. And
Hmm.
when those two things come together, it's not about the market shooting up, or Fortnite to the moon, but it's just going to be that next wave of true collectors, and that's really going to beef up the community. And I think that's going to be great to see.
100%. So, I mean, now that you're talking about Twitter, I guess I can just jump right into this.
Yeah,
Sorry, Richard, no news on Series 4 yet.
yeah,
I
that
don't
probably
expect we won't hear news from that till at least
months, months.
November would be a
Yeah,
godsend, but
yeah,
probably 2023.
yeah. I would. November would definitely be major, but my gut feels like February. I don't think we'll
Yeah.
hear any if. So we'll see.
So, in the title of this episode was, "What is a skin I think is incredibly undervalued?" And it comes back to, for me, the comics, and this is just speculation on my part. But does anybody have any guesses? Do you have a guess, Rob? Because I don't
I'll
think I
say,
told you.
let me ask you this. It's already in the card. It's already in the card or comic market. Like that. It's in
Yeah.
the card market, right?
Hmm.
Hmm. That's a good question.
I'm curious to see if so. No one probably has any ideas.
No,
All
I
right.
would say no.
So I've been stalking Christos Gage over here, and he keeps bringing up fish sticks. And
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah.
so, like, I mean, literally, so I was reading through all his tweets, and he was talking about how, like, if he had to write a story about one of the skins, he even said fish sticks, and then
Hmm.
he just keeps saying stuff like, "Look what fish stick brought me,"
Hmm.
right? And then people keep talking to him about it, and now we have this page here. So sorry, these are like non-spoiler leaks from the
Yeah.
comics. But it's another scene of fish sticks almost dying, and Christos Gage was basically saying that he didn't kill him this time. He didn't want to be too ruthless.
Hmm.
Um, but he's having a lot of fun with his fish sticks, and he says it's not going to end. So I guess I forget where I put it, but like he has this whole conversation with all these readers
Yeah.
about fish sticks. Um, but like in the end, he's over here saying like, I hate to have to do this to him, but it's not going to end. I'm having too much fun.
Yeah.
See right here, he says, but I can't stop. So I think Fish Sticks is going to be a very long running joke throughout the
Hmm.
comics. And I could see it playing out in movies very, very well with that character. And he's way more used in the game than Peely. So the
Hmm.
fact that he's so low compared to Peely is kind of astonishing, right? Because we have Peely in God tier.
Well, this is. I'm glad we're on this topic because fish stick, and I'm gonna just there's three iconic skins missing off of our list, and I'll stand on that hill. And fish stick is one of them. You know,
Yeah.
fish stick has I've said that fish stick has always been underrated to me. Especially once the comic books, me and Dylan like 0 Point when fish stick was in there and the way he was introduced in that comic, it was uh it was a no-brainer. I think that fish stick is iconic in general, and I think him and Pilly is used the same exact way, but it's being looked at very differently. Like when it came to the comic, he almost is pretty much the Kenny, and then Pilly is the Kenny of the actual trailers and everything like
Hmm.
that. But this is something that yeah, man, it's
I mean,
obvious to
this
me.
is pure speculation, so this is not investment. I'm just speculating with you guys, but like the potential of this is pretty big, I think. And the fact that he keeps saying I won't stop. I read a couple of tweets where he's saying he can't stop. He may stop killing him, he says, but he's not going to stop. He said he resorted to just badly injuring him
Yeah.
instead of like killing him off every time.
Well, what's unique to me too, I will say this was unique is that the snapshots talk.
That
That's what caught
that's
me.
that's a unique.
Yeah,
That's something that we were questioning about a couple months ago.
yeah,
Can they talk?
yeah.
So, and
And
he even said that they interest him. He said the
mhm,
snapshots interest him a lot.
mhm. And the fact that they can talk is very interesting because it's almost like the more snapshots you have, the more you're like a cat with nine lives. Like it's like you know what I mean. That your story can live on in a way that we can't understand it. It's a very big mystery, honestly, because do the snapshots think the same way as the original? Do they have different experiences? Because obviously they're looped, and if they win when they escape the loop, who are they in that aspect? So it's a lot of things that can be told around just the snapshot story, and man, it could be a lot of story behind that, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find it. I had it. My computer crashed earlier. I had the tweet saved over here, but I can't find it. But there was some interaction on Twitter with Christos Gage, and somebody asked a question, and he says we haven't gotten to that yet, or something.
Hmm.
But the comic's coming out, the fifth one.
Hmm.
And then the very next question was, "Oh, well, I guess I was just wondering, are there gonna be more comics?" And he goes, "I can't comment."
Yeah, yeah, I've
So,
seen that.
obviously,
Hmm.
there's gonna be more comics because he
Hmm.
said we haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the new season. Um, there's just a lot going on, and we got Creative 2.0. So I'm
Yeah.
like really, really psyched this week. We only have one more week of
Yeah.
high ground
Yeah.
before the new season because after next week
Mm-hmm.
it'll be the 18th.
Yep. And on top of that, so I did have, it's funny, I did have fish stick on my notes, but another one that I had was Raz. I had Raz on there, and the reason why is because this Chrome is coming into the game. But in this primal season, the the extra styles was Chrome. So I'm interested, and it's leading into
That's a good
yeah,
point.
and
They
it's
were
leading into
Chrome.
Fortnite Mirror. Yes, and it's leading into Fortnite Mirror. So I'm interested to see if that comes together. I think Raz is extremely important to the storyline. I think he's far from his story being told. So I'm interested to see if he comes back now or when soon, I should say, or if he's even connected with this.
So we were officially thinking maybe Chaos Agent.
Hmm.
But now that it's Chrome, we're thinking maybe it's not
Right.
Chaos Agent, maybe it's something else. I
Hmm.
do like that. Ty, what season was that?
Primal was
Six?
chapter two, yeah, six. Chapter two, season six.
And we never got a did we ever get a reason why they used Chrome there, or is it just a
At
coincidence?
least that, not that I know of.
Hmm. Because he did get brought into the map. He was lured. Oh, but he was lured there by the cube, right?
Yes,
That's
he
what
was.
they
Yes,
said.
and then he pretty much messed with the spire and triggered the what's the name of the reality of Cube Queen's team? I can't remember what it is. Whatever. He lured in the Cube Queen pretty much when with messing with the cube. He was brought in by the cube,
Hmm.
messed with the spire, and then pretty much woke up the Cube Queen's senses and brought her to the map. So Raz is pretty important, and Cube Queen is, man, lore wise, those are some that I'm interested to see how that plays out.
So, where do you think the comics are going to go in that direction? Do
All
you
right.
think we're going to get like? Do you think the Cube Queen's going to be like Ice King, where like he
Ah,
gets a scene?
good question.
You know what I
Good
mean? Or
question.
is Cube Queen going to be like Sloan level
Hmm.
or Genos level, where they get this whole story?
Wait, this is like a shallow take when it comes to like reasoning.
Hmm.
But just the way she was introduced, the crushing the butterfly, and it just the way she,
That was
yeah,
pretty
like
dope.
it's like one of those things where it's like they wouldn't be doing their due diligence if they didn't at least put her Sloan level and left her at Ice King level.
Hmm.
Because like technically, Ice King is in that weird gray space where, yo, finally we have true lore with him, and he is that important. Are we gonna hear from him again? Almost the
Oh,
same thing with
because
Renegade Raider.
because he said that he put himself to sleep and like eternal sleep.
Yeah,
Did he do that again? Did they escape? Does
right,
that mean that
right.
Ice King put himself to sleep again for no reason?
Yeah,
Um, so to me, it felt like that was the last we were seeing of Ice King.
yeah. Unless we go back to what we said so many months ago, if the Zero Point is the main character and they kind of feed off of the community. If the
Hmm.
community really loves Ice King this much, is it worth exploring building that?
Well,
Because Crystal Gage did say,
this
yeah,
could be Ice King's like death.
yeah,
Doesn't mean that he doesn't have a story to tell.
exactly.
So like, I guess we could get the origin story of Ice King later, and then
Hmm.
like all his travels,
Hmm.
just like any other like superhero or because he's not a villain.
Right.
Right? So, like, we could learn all the way up to the Fortnite Island and then to the Ice Moon where he freezes himself. That
And
could be his end.
it seems like you can tell me if your opinion differs in this, but it seems like that's the sweet spot for Fortnite. Kind
Mhm,
of built like, okay, this is where they were, this is how they got here. Obviously, that's pretty much how every backstory is told. That is a backstory. But Fortnite has so many different opportunities. Like, it's crazy. We weren't even thinking about Ice King coming back, Prisoner, and that connects all of those 3 seasons that's before it and after it now that could possibly have its moment. But I mean, you think about the seasons that was close to that. Like, you think about 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Like everything that happens in there is like that was a lot of recon is going to happen in there because it's a lot of things that they just didn't know. They were experimenting, you know.
mhm.
they were experimenting. Things hit, some things didn't. It was spitballing, and now they're kind of pulling it out. And that's kind of what happened with Paradigm and Singularity. At least that's what everybody assumes. I believe it was a little bit more strategic, and I give them a little bit more credit, but I don't think people want to give that out just yet.
No, and here's the other thing I've discovered this week is that as much as we know the game, right? As
Hmm.
much as you've paid attention over the years to the events and things like that,
Hmm.
those aren't necessarily canon.
No,
The
yeah, not at
game
all.
is no
Hmm.
longer canon.
Hmm.
Exactly. The comics is what's canon.
I like
And
that. I
and
like that.
so I like that too, right?
Hmm.
Because the comics, they can be more intentional. So just because it happened in a game one way,
Hmm.
that or an event doesn't necessarily mean it actually happened. So you
Hmm.
have to pay attention to the comics. This was said by an explanation between why is the mech blue, but in the comics it's the rainbow color.
Well,
So
that's and the
and like
thing.
he answered that. Christmas Gate answered and said, "Well, the event was not canon. The comic is."
Well, I agree with what you're saying, but with that specific point about the Met colors, that would technically be issue 5. That's why I'm like, when people like, because like
Yep.
everything, like even when his when the mech was in the pose where his hand was in the ground, that was telling a story from the past. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the issue 5, now if that's the same way in issue 5, then that point,
Yeah.
with that comes. But I
And
think people jumping the gun a little bit on that.
and Kari, I'm not saying that the lore can't be canon also, but
Hmm.
it won't be exact. So like if there's like a mix, like if there's like a discrepancy, you have to
Hmm.
go with the comic. The comic is like the gonna be like the Bible, pretty much.
Hmm.
That's kind of what we're seeing here. Because sometimes they release skins or like the mech, they release the mech in the black, right? As a skin.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean there's a person-sized mech walking around. That
Hmm.
was just for the game,
Yeah.
right? So that wasn't canon. So that gives them the ability to release certain skins and stuff just to like
What
for
and
marketing purposes.
and what we also have to factor in, and this, I actually, I'll be honest, this just came to me right now as you were talking. We have to factor in that Donald Mustard's over the story. He's not over the item shop. He's not over what gets reskinned. He's not over that aspect.
Mhm.
To an extent, he is, like, obviously, like, uh, you know, if someone escapes the loop and they get a reskin, he may be a part of how that looks. Who knows? But more than anything, he's a part of building the story. When they came out with that black mech, I'm pretty sure Donald Mustard didn't have a say in that. It was just popularity based off of how that event went, and it kind of built off that.
Dang, Richard lost Wi-Fi. Yes, you missed everything. We gave away a Black Knight shard.
There
We
you
gave away
go.
everything. It's like I'm just kidding.
No,
I
you're
don't know
good,
what
man.
we were talking about comics and stuff, Richard.
Yeah,
Watch the playback because
yeah,
I can't remember exactly what we said.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
talking lore. There you go.
now the cutscenes. I'll be honest. I've No lie, I've probably watched each cutscene. Like, obviously, there's a lot of videos that have them all together. I watched so many of the cutscenes over 10 to 15 times,
Mhm.
and it definitely does have. I like what you said, because the comics is that's what's gonna be canon. That
Mhm.
it's
It's the
venturing.
defining.
Yes.
It's so like
Yeah.
if you're up in the air, it's like, is this canon? Like if you saw two different scenes, the comic did it one way, the game did it another. You have
Mhm,
to go with the comic. That's
mhm.
what's going to be canon.
And you have a small bite size of that now, because technically you only have 0 point, well, no, you have Nexus War. Nexus War has things that's important. So you have Nexus War 0 point, and you have Zero War. That is the canon aspect right now. Now I will say this though, but like chapter 3 probably will be canon, because they're at that point. You get what I mean? Like, now that doesn't mean it's going to be consistent canon. The comic is still going to be the most important aspect of that. But I think chapter 3, they finally have their footing on the direction they want to go. Chapter
Mhm.
1 and chapter 2, definitely they were figuring all of this out. And I think Donald Mustard knew the comics would do well. I don't know if the whole team did. And now they're pouring into that. So you got to kind of give grace in that area.
Now, Mile High, he's asking where did Drift come from in the comics? We don't know in the comics yet because he hasn't been in the comics. But lore
That's my
wise, he
guy.
came. Yeah, that's he's a big Drift fan. So is
Yeah.
Black Ash. He came from our world.
Hmm.
So whatever.
He's the homie.
Yeah, so whatever world this is that we play, where the gamers are.
Yeah.
So he was sucked in. through a rift, and
Yeah.
he was a graffiti artist.
Yep.
Now, where he goes from there, like,
Yeah.
did he? I don't know,
He
because I don't know, he became
he
like a ninja.
he was given a mask. He was given a mask, which is the Fox Clan is a lot more in depth than we thought. You have Fade, you have Vi, and you have Catalyst. They're all a part of the Fox Clan,
hmm
and it feels like Vi might be the leader, but we don't know. So it's so much when it comes to the Fox Clan. Fox Clan is a title that I would love to have comic wise. Appreciate
Yeah,
it, Richard.
I mean, Kari, I mean, yeah, if they mention it a lot, I'm not saying like you need to pay attention to the game. You have to, because that's like what's going to spark. Because comics take a lot. They had to get a writer, they get an artist, so it's going to take a lot to get that stuff out the door. Where like so like stuff in the game may lead to it. When I'm talking about canon, there may be small different changes that happen throughout the comics.
Right.
But if you play the game and you know what happened in the past, it could lead to the comics. Just like Ice King was important
Mhm.
3 years ago,
Yeah.
and then he shows up in the comics. So, like, I feel like if you wanna speculate and, like, be ahead of the first adapters, then you have to look at the game content.
Yeah. Now, and just like because pretty much what that is that understanding that the story, the way that a situation happened can change, but just making sure you're following, like Dylan said, following those characters, going with your gut feeling, because that gut feeling is real. And I think that's very important. My gut right now, Raz, man, I don't know why I feel it. I don't know why I feel it, and it's
I
not
mean,
even
he
like a
he I hope,
yeah.
because he's a cool looking card.
He
I don't have
is.
him, but
He is.
he's a very cool looking
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, and I had him, but I don't have him anymore, and I'm not trying to chase it or anything. It's more so Raz is my comic book side until it's not. Like, and that's what I love about doing the storyline cards, the lore cards, because I get to change my opinion.
Mhm.
It's something that is out of my control that I can put in my control later on.
I
Unlike
mean,
our PC
to
cards and stuff like
me
that.
to me, the Ice King went way up in my book last, like, comic that came out.
Yeah.
He's a cool character now. I really like the Ice King.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to get his card still, but at the same time, I'm not mad at it either anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it happened to us before though. It happened to us with
Mhm.
Foundation, where it's like, okay,
Oh,
Foundation, and
this
then
just
it's like, oh
before we go
shoot,
off topic,
yeah,
Ice King, so we are talking about canon and what's not canon.
hmm
So Ice King is definitely canon, but after reading him in the comics, I feel like Ice Queen isn't canon.
right,
So like when they make a female version or a male version of another skin, they may
hmm
not be canon, you know what I mean?
hmm
Like a wild card, he could end up being canon, and that
hmm
female one that just came out in the crew pass probably is just for the game.
or Ace, yeah, Ace,
Yeah, or
or
Ace,
the
yeah.
yep,
So, I mean, I think that's another way to look at it. Whenever they do stuff like that, where they create a female and a male version, like
hmm
one of those might be the character, and the other one is just like
yeah.
just there for the game purpose.
Now, another is crazy because I'm glad we're talking about like the lore, because like even with like Chaos Agent, right? Like Chaos
hmm
Agent, we know so much, but we don't know nothing at all.
Same thing with Midas. I
Yeah,
mean,
like it's
he
just
works for Midas, and we have
yeah,
no idea
yeah,
what Midas is doing or why
yeah,
he's doing it or why he has a team.
yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you understand that Midas, Chaos Agent, Jules, and the double agents, all of them are going to be very important. It's just the rollout, we have no idea. We have no
hmm
idea if it's like they're like, you know what? All of these things can be a comic, but this has to be the first show. We have no idea who that's going to be, what story that's going to be, who's going to be the face of that. Um, but man, it's crazy.
I mean, I'd like to. I mean, we what we need to do is figure out how many different story. Like, so we have Drift, right? That's going to be a whole storyline. It has to be.
Uh-huh.
We've got Midas.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I feel like Chaos Agent could have his own.
For
Like
sure.
he's such a
For
big
sure.
character that could have his own, but he also works for Midas.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, that's almost three in itself. And now we got like Raz and all. I mean, and that whole
Yeah.
Cube Queen storyline.
Yeah, like, and but what's weird that I'm very interested, like, so immediately my brain goes to like Batman Joker when it comes to like Midas, Chaos Agent, but then I'm like, it can't. The reason why that's not the case, it seems like they have the same personality, but
Mhm.
which makes them clash in a way. Like I'm interested to see how that plays out because they seem like they have the same demeanor almost.
Yeah, but I mean, if you remember the little short comic episode, it's like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like he basically and he recruited him, and he's part of his team when the crew passed.
Hmm.
So like Batman Joker is like one's good, one's evil. I feel like these guys are on the same team. Now, is Chaos Agent and Midas evil or good?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that Midas has an arc. I think Midas has an arc to being good. I don't think
Hmm.
Chaos Agent does. I don't think Chaos Agent has one. So that's kind of I think that's what will shape it. And that's just me speculating. Like I think that Midas will have an arc to possibly be almost like a vigilante, but which technically he is already in a way. But Chaos Agent, I think he would remain the way he is.
Okay, so there's one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and when we talk about how early we all are, I mean we're
Yeah,
early.
yeah,
Like so, this page here, what I like about this, right, is you have all these iconic characters,
yeah.
and if you look under characters, they don't
Yep.
even list
Oh,
the
good point.
imagined and or Jonesy as if they don't matter.
Mhm.
So when I say that we are early, I mean the people who are doing comics, the people who are drawing it. So this is a studio for drawing the comics. They don't even know who these appearances are.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man has been in so much, right? So obviously people would buy this because it has Spider-Man. So this price here,
It's yep,
$500, is based on a Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Shuri combination of their 300th comic.
yep,
You know what I'm saying? So they're not thinking, "Oh, this is the first comic series that has the imagined in it."
yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you
And
have to take that into effect. I mean, that's why I made this title of this episode like which character? Because
mhm.
come on, they're not just skins. These guys are characters.
Characters, yep.
This should say the imagined, and it should say Jonesy on here.
Matter of fact, it's a Fortnite comic. It should say it first. Um, and not only that, you ever watch an interview of like somebody's like, okay, like if it was an artist or if it was anybody of like even an entrepreneur, right? You ever
Mhm.
watch an interview and they talk about their beginning stages of their career?
Mhm.
I see this as one of those things where they're like, I was doing this like offshoot comic for Fortnite, didn't really think it was going to get any traction, A, B, and C. That's what this is. This is one of those things where they're connected to something major 10, 15 years from now that they had no idea was going to end up being this. But we do know that. We understand what this is and we see it
Mhm.
already. Yeah, it's one of those things, man.
It's like one of those things like where like I don't know if I've ever been in this position where I feel like I know something
Yep.
that no one else is paying attention to.
Yeah.
And that's what one of these things is. So, like, getting these rare pieces of collectibles to me, this is all speculation, not investment advice. It just seems like a really good opportunity. Um, and what's the downside is maybe you're
Mhm.
out $500 and you have a really cool piece of art that you
Yep.
appreciate. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Because I'm going to appreciate all these collectibles,
Yeah.
but I just feel like we're so early and the potential is so high for Fortnite.
Hmm.
And even the artist behind it and the writers behind it, besides Christos Gage,
Hmm.
don't know what the heck this is.
Hmm. Yep. And it's also so even that, I'm glad you said that because a lot of the confusion is coming from that as well, Dylan. A lot of these artists don't know what it is, and Donald Mustard and Crystal Gage didn't give them a lot. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They gave them they gave them enough to do the job, which could have been bad on their end or good, however the case may be. But that's just something to know as well.
Oh, here's a really good question that I don't even think I'm ready for. He says, "From my gut, what character do I feel will be big in lore that hasn't been mentioned yet? Hasn't been mentioned yet in like the comics or like in like the Fortnite story,
Let's go
like
with
in like
haven't been.
events."
Let's go
Um,
with both.
because I had to think. I had to think. I mean, there's a lot. There's
Hmm.
a lot of cool characters that I think taking Aura out of it because she's one of my favorites and most used skin. That would
Hmm.
be amazing.
I.
Um,
Hmm.
but if we talked about other ones, like if you're talking about like sweaty skins, like I feel like one of the ones that I found out that works for the IO is Zadie. Now
Mhm.
Zadie is a popular skin,
Yep.
and I wouldn't say this is like my gut feeling the a big one, but she works for IO. She has the emblem on her shoulder, and
Mhm.
we've got no information about her, and she's super popular in game.
Mhm.
So that would be a really interesting one. And she was in Series 2 cards. Um, I'm trying to think way back. I kind of want to go through all. I need to go watch one of those YouTubes and get a refresher of all the different
I have
seasons.
I have I have one that's tied together. So
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of those. They have to keep remaking those.
yeah, I have well no, I have one. I have so okay, I'll say this. We know about Jones, Agent Jones, right?
Hmm.
People sleeping on Ramirez, bro. I don't think it's gonna come the same way we had the reveal of Agent Jones, but Ramirez, where Agent Jones was working the field of battle royale, Ramirez was working save the world. Now, what we
And
saying? Save the world. Save the world, I think, is gonna come in a way, and it possibly will happen soon where Save the World is truly implemented into battle royale and the storyline.
isn't there a cut scene at the end of one of the seasons when Jonesy is giving up and he's on the mic? Isn't he talking to Ramirez, saying like when
I
he's
thought that,
coming back to the island?
I thought that was Sloan
I don't think so. I might have to go back, but I don't think it was Sloan. It didn't sound like Sloan.
when he was on the battle bus when he had the
I'm gonna have to
portal.
go back and I'm gonna have to go back and watch this. But I
Yeah,
think that
I,
him and Ramirez are more like colleagues,
yeah,
where Sloan was a superior,
mhm.
right? So like, and then what I'm remembering was this person was warning him not to do that. Don't go against the IO or whatever. I don't think it was Sloan. I think it
Oh,
was
I know what you're
Ramirez.
talking. I know. I think I know what you're talking about. I
But
that might have been
that's a
Ramirez.
really good take.
Hmm.
Now, for collectability wise, is there a card for Ramirez besides her? Like, because you have Ramirez as like the base skin for some
Yeah.
of the designs,
Hmm.
like Elite Agent. Um,
You want me to? I'll say this.
Actually, Elite Agent could be Ramirez. That could.
Yeah, I'll say this. I would say, obviously, like Dylan is saying, a lot of them are just head cannons, type thing. But Dark Bomber was the first character skin at the time. Bright Bomber was the first character to be affected by the
You
cube,
just answered.
bro.
No, I think Bright Bomber
Is
needs to be
listen,
told. Yeah, I mean,
bro.
you just said
It's
that Bright Bomber and the Dark Bomber. I
yes,
think that wins the cake.
it has to.
I like where Kari's going with Zero
Mm-hmm.
because being connected
That's
to the 0 point, that's a really
mhm.
good one. But Bright Bomber being so nostalgic and being one of the first
Yep.
Fortnite characters in the comics to be shown,
Mm-hmm.
she needs some kind of story.
And the thing is like so. So I don't know if y'all know this because I didn't know this at all, and I just found this out this week. Ramirez was based off an actual actress, and she's like, it's literally her, bro, and
Hmm.
it's crazy. And now she's still like this actress is still acting to this day, and she's in her prime. It will be an effortless transition. The voice actor I'm talking about, the voice actor of Ramirez, was actually drawn based off that actress. So I think that Ramirez is gonna have her moment. And like Dylan said, we don't know who the true Ramirez is to an
Hmm.
extent, or the even the first snapshot for that matter. I mean, obviously we can figure that out, but her tie with the Save the World and Vendatech, like, because Vendatech doesn't get talked about. Vendatech is in Save the World. That's where V Bucks came from.
Hmm.
Like, and that's a whole story within itself. So the original storyline was Save the World. Battle Royale took off, so they put all their focus there. But that's like one of them. That's like your precious, your precious first idea that you're not gonna leave in the dust. You just have to wait till the right time. And I
Now,
think that's a major thing.
did you play much of Save the World?
I didn't play Save the World at all.
Okay. I
Yeah,
played a little bit of it. It was really hard for me to get into it. There's so many bugs.
yeah,
Um, and like the story was completely different.
hmm,
So I'm interested to see what they do
yeah,
with that little child of theirs that they don't ever mention.
yeah.
Um, there's something I should probably go into and try to pay attention to.
Because now my brother did play Save the World for V Bucks. He loved doing that if he wasn't stealing my money. But also on that is, the recruits, the original recruits, they technically all have backstories. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
The and the
they all share a tattoo, like, Ramirez and Jonesy
Mhm,
share that tattoo. So
mhm,
they must have been in, like, training together.
mhm,
So he must have other friends within the IO.
mhm.
So I mean, there's lots of characters. I mean, Zero is a big one. Like Richard here says, he
Yep.
was the first skin released after the black
Yes,
hole
sir.
event.
And that was yeah,
And
that was
that's a weird that black hole thing was weird. Like,
mhm,
we don't even know what that did. Like, did that what did that reset? Did that reset
mhm.
just the island?
Yeah.
All realities?
Because, like I followed it heavily around that time, and when it happened, when he was the first item shop skin, my first thought was, "Oh, it was the effect of the 0 point." So it
Mhm.
was almost it was this automatic creation, you know what I mean? Like, and Zero, I feel because you had your moment was like, "Bro, zero, zero," and I
Yeah,
think
I still have my zeros too. I have the
yeah,
cards. That
yeah,
was the first card I was like, "Holy shit, I kinda need to buy this guy because 0, 0
right,
point, 0
yeah.
war, all this stuff. He has to be connected in some way."
Well, yeah, like, and it's like, and Zero was always one that I was like, this has to be something. The thing is like, how do they want to do it? Because they can make him. I don't even know, like, is it because he doesn't have to be like, when you look at it, he doesn't have to be a
He
antagonist
could
or
be a
anything.
godlike creature,
Mm-hmm.
right, that created the 0 point, or like you said, he could be created
Mm-hmm.
from the 0 point doing that big, explosion thing and resetting everything. He
Yeah.
could been like a reaction from that.
Yeah.
So they could take it in multiple different ways. So he could be like a small character, or he could be a huge character.
Yeah. Like, and wait, I'm glad because somebody said something about uh oh, this one. So yeah, this one is interesting too because Bunker Jonesy. Now that we know snapshots can talk, Bunker Jonesy was tripping in that. No pun intended in the bunker, bro. Like, cause at first we thinking like he's just making noises like a caveman, but when he
Hmm.
was writing on that wall, he was talking like so. He has his own memories and thought processes. Like, and that's deep to me because like now you have Pilly there with you, and it's it's one of those things where now there is a level of importance compared to comparing snapshots. You know what I mean? Bunker Jonesy might be one of his most important snapshots until Agent Jonesy came, Agent Jones, and all of these situations. So it's like Jones is really good at his job. He's gotten 88 people to the island, great fighters to the island in pretty much what was it, 2 seasons?
Hmm.
Like that's pretty crazy. So he's pretty efficient at his job.
Well, this just occurred to me because I remember the scene from Bunker Jonesy,
Yeah,
like in the cave,
yeah,
and like he's trying to figure everything out, right?
yeah.
And I never put this together, but because of 0 point, we know that when you're in the loop, you have
Uh-huh.
no memory.
Uh-huh.
So he was writing on this wall. He was still in the loop,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
every day kept resetting, but he was still in that bunker,
He was
and he saw
Batman.
what he wrote before,
Yeah.
and he's trying to figure everything out. That's kind of
Yeah.
what it seems like.
So
Um,
that's interesting because when see it's interesting how they approach 0 point compared to Zero War. Obviously, one was a based off of the loop in the island, and the other one is based off of a lot way bigger than that. But when Batman came back, he obviously had a looped version. But seeing the way Bunker Jonesy approach is very interesting because technically being looped, you come back as a different skin. So I'm interested of how that was because that had to be a different point in time, and obviously that's another thing that could change down the road.
I mean, we literally know nothing about the looped versions of people, the
Yeah,
snapshots that they call them.
yeah,
This is one thing that Christos Gage said he's really interested in. He really is
uh-huh.
interested in the snapshots. So, like, if we can
Be-
figure out maybe in issue 5, when hopefully
yeah,
we meet their counterparts for the sisters, and we
uh-huh.
can get some talking points. Like, if we can figure out more about these snapshots, we might get a more leg up on like how important is frozen fish sticks?
Exactly.
Are
Yeah.
snapshots just side characters, or are we wrong? Right? Are
Mm-hmm.
these like major characters? Because like, what if frozen fish sticks is a major evil villain at some point?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because
And
yeah,
I mean, we
that's
don't know that snapshots are necessarily just secondary people. They could be the main one that replaced
100%.
the first
And
version.
it seems like they tried to hint at that with 8 Ball and Scratch.
Hmm.
Scratch killed 8 Ball. You know, like he killed the original. And it was just like one of them those small points of time, and then it
But that was in the
continued
loop,
on.
right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like so that was in the loop, but
It created the
yeah,
corrupted version. So, like, what happens if your snapshot kills the
exactly.
original? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's things that can be affected by the snapshot. We don't know if a snapshot can become superior.
Hmm.
We don't know what the effects can be long term, but let's put it this way. If this was more of a let's say if this was a quote serious game, right? People would take it a lot differently if you have all of these versions of you and they have all different memories based off of their battles and their experiences after you became came back in the loop, but technically you're still the original and still alive outside of the loop.
So my
Like,
my main question that I want answered, right? Like
yeah.
if I talk to Donald Mustard, the main question that I want to know is, does a looped version of character, if they
Uh-huh.
escape the loop,
Uh-huh.
do they have the original's memories from
That's
before they entered the loop? My
uh-huh.
gut feeling is saying no, because when they get looped, they're like start fresh,
Yeah.
and then they only have that's when they're born.
Right.
And so they don't have those memories. But I don't know.
Well,
That's why I want to know. So like do the sisters so like the sisters have copied versions, right? They have looped
yeah.
versions. Do
Yeah.
they think they're the real versions?
Right.
They may
Right.
think they are the real versions that escaped the loop.
Mhm.
They may think the other ones are fake.
See, this is interesting you said that because to pull up the comic book pages that you the not so much of a spoiler pages of Fish Stick. Look at the bottom. Did you get the full page of this? It's
Uh
hold on. I'm gonna send it to you. Let me see. It's a maybe you'll get it before I send it.
I'm just going to my messages real quick to get it from you.
Yeah. All right. Here it is. All right. So look what Fish Stick says at the bottom.
You sent that to my IG account?
I sent it to High Ground.
Oh, okay. Oh, send it to my personal one. I don't have that one on here.
All right.
I'd have to sign in and everything. Does Renegade Raider keep her memory in the comics? So Renegade Raider gets her memories back when she leaves the loop.
Mm-hmm.
So or leaves the island. So
Mm-hmm.
if you escape the loop, you get your memories back for each battle you've been in. So you remember all those battles, but you do not get the memory back from your homeland. It's not until you leave that island do those come back to you. So like
Mm-hmm.
Batman and them didn't get their memories till they got back to Gotham. The
Mm-hmm.
Renegade Raider did not get her memory back until she went to her home world. So
Mm-hmm.
she escaped the island, then got her memories back, which means like we don't know if she was evil, good, if she's with the IO against them, but she will realize when she gets home, like she'll realize why she was there. Like what was she
Right.
supposed to be doing?
And what JT says right here is exactly what I was thinking. So look at that page and look what Fish Stick says at the bottom. I don't know why I didn't zoom up.
Let's see. Do it like this.
At the bottom, scroll down a little bit. Yeah, to look at the last bubble.
Oh yeah, I had that. I had that on this one.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There's no fix me. Just don't let them do this to any more fish sticks or anyone else.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was kind of funny. Basically, he's like, "Don't let them do this to any more fish sticks." So I thought this was more of that gag, right? Like fish sticks keeps getting hurt. He's like, "Don't let them do this to any more fish sticks." But of course, fish sticks is always going to get hurt, no matter what happens on the Fortnite Island. We're going to
Hmm.
see fish sticks get hurt. So I think that's a running joke. But then he throws
He's
it in there,
aware. Yeah, he's aware that there's
yeah.
more Fish Sticks.
And then he's like, or anyone else, of course, either.
Yeah,
But mainly fish sticks.
yeah. And this, I like how Crystal Gage answered the questions of how the scientists can show empathy, but the foundation is he's he's a he's a vet, man. He's rigid. He can't because they were comparing the way the scientists responded to Fish Stick compared to when 8 Ball and Fish Stick had their moment and the
Hmm.
foundation was there. It just shows the two different. um feels that scientists and the foundation have. Scientists can be a little bit more empathetic, where the foundation is rugged, and he's not bending for
Well,
nobody.
he's been battling
Yeah,
this for decades. I mean, he
yeah,
said that before Batman was born, he's been battling for the 0 point.
mm-hmm,
So that whole immortality thing,
mm-hmm,
obviously the Foundation has been part of it because he's been fighting on the island. So he
yeah.
has that. They're not gonna kill off the Foundation. He's gonna have such a badass backstory.
Man, and we are close to finding out who dies. Man, this is gonna be interesting for
I
sure.
wish I liked the sketches from the Foundation pages more
Mm-hmm.
because,
Yeah,
I wish
the
the interior artist was a different artist, no offense.
yeah, yeah, for
Um,
sure. Same.
but I mean, I like the Foundation story, what happened and learning it, but I disagree with JT. I don't think the Foundation's getting killed off. Um,
Oh,
Mile High
for
says,
sure.
she had to retain memory to know she wanted to escape, right? No, I mean, they knew they were trapped on an island
Mm-hmm,
where they are killing people every
mm-hmm,
single day, and
mm-hmm,
that this wasn't her homeland. So they all were from different places. So I
mm-hmm.
mean, that was enough motivation for her to want to escape. I don't think that she needed that motivation.
So, and an interesting thing is, so obviously Jonesy has been was working for the IO for decades, centuries, right?
Hmm.
But at what point did, like, the recruiting start? You know what I mean? Like, you brought it up at the one time, like all of these artists, I mean, all of these characters like Renegade Raider, although they're not Spider-Man and come from these realities, they were pulled from their reality, right?
Hmm.
And what was the reasoning? Those are all the things that I would love to find out.
Yeah, JT, I don't want to bash on his art skills either. He definitely can draw way better than me. It just was not my favorite
Yeah,
compared to all the other issues. Um, So I mean, there were
yeah,
some scenes that I kind of wanted, like what, but like those ones were already gone.
yeah,
And then so like I just like, do I even want to display those? I'm not sure. So I
right.
haven't picked up anything from the sketches of that one.
Hmm.
But I do love the Foundation Donald Mustard cover.
And
I will
JT,
say that.
You did not have to tell us that you didn't like it, because we knew it. You didn't like it because they're still available. So we could figure that one.
I'm fine with the live action movie. I think
Mhm,
that Avengers hit it out of the park, and if I mean, I don't see why we couldn't get it like as good as that. We have The
mhm,
Rock, we have really good actors and actors. If superheroes can do it, Fortnite can easily do it.
mhm, right,
There's only a couple characters that'll be really pretty interesting, but I think they can pull it off. Fish sticks and Meow Schools and Peely might be a little difficult with CGI, but
mhm,
hopefully with how much money and like how much planning that Fortnite puts into their stuff, I think they
mhm,
can pull it off.
yeah.
So I don't think we need animated. I think that a live
See,
action worked just
see
fine.
now,
Live action with CGI.
now I was definitely heavy live action, and I still am.
Hmm.
Um, but a Fortnite style animated. I mean, obviously, if it's animated, it's going to be Fortnite style. I think that it I think it would do a lot more for off rip, right? And build into a live action. But the same way anything else kind of happened, but I think it's starting off the like if it comes to the films, I think it's starting off animated first. I think it would really do great in building up that fan base and then going into live action.
Yeah. So I'm thinking opposite of that because I think they're gonna do. I think they're gonna partner with Marvel again because I think they really want to bring in that older audience.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, they released animated. I'm sure they'll get a lot of kids watching it, and they can do that in like series. And what I've noticed from like movies and shows, they'll do like animated shows or whatever for like 20 30 minutes for the kids. But I think like a movie, like animating a movie completely takes like 3 to 5 years,
Mhm.
like just to animate all those different things. I think the live action is the smarter way to go for them, especially since how deep they're getting with comics, how serious they're getting. I think they want to bring in that market as well. So
Mhm.
I think they're going to go with like a mix between Marvel and Fortnite in some kind of live action movie.
Now,
But that's just my gut. I
well,
don't.
no, yeah, and I agree with that for the most part. The thing is though, Fortnite is already doing like like Fortnite, when it comes to their animations, and I
Mhm.
don't think it would take that long for them because this is their,
No, I
you
mean,
know,
that's just the animated process takes a long time.
right. I hear you. But what I'm saying is with what Fortnite has with their animations, whether it take 3 to 5 years in general, I get that. But people seeing, like, because like you said, it would attract kids. I don't think so. I think it will attract us.
No,
'Cause,
yeah,
yeah,
but what I think it'll attract more adults if it's a live action, just like the Marvel.
yes, but to like off rip though, like it's like don't you like now I do agree with you when it came to like the Marvel having the feature, like maybe let's say the foundation, but I do think it's important to uh introduce that to the community in an animated form first and then build into that, just the way everything else has happened. But
Well,
I
I
think
well, think Iron Man, that hasn't happened like that, or think any of those other major movies. Um, like, we don't need to like, yeah, those came out as, like, cartoons first,
yeah,
but Fortnite has a different trajectory. They have it in game already animated. So
right.
you could argue they've already done the animated
They've
to
already done
game.
they already done the snippets.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm getting at. Like I agree that that comes next, but like with all of these introductions to the animated versions, you have to do at least one. You don't have to, but it will be great to do at least one true one and then go into that next phase. Like I think phases are very important in giving us these stories that we're waiting for in the animated Fortnite version, the same way we have everything else, and then going into that live action. I think that's what seems like they're going towards more than anything.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think they're going straight to live action, but that's just my gut
Really?
feeling.
So you think they'll go
I think the
straight?
first Fortnite movie is gonna be live action.
Yeah, nah, yeah, okay. I can see where you're coming from that,
I'll
but
timestamp this episode out. What is this? 1 hour in. I'm
well,
gonna say the first one's gonna be live action.
because I guess we would have to define it because I think film wise it's technically already there. I think Fortnite, if you put them all together the way you put them all together, the story is being told. I think the final stamp, like I can see, because 30 minutes is a short film, and that would technically be the first film. You know what I mean? Now, first
I
major
mean,
one,
I'm talking about like a movie, a cinematic movie. I'm not talking about shorts. I'm not talking about an
no,
episode.
but yeah, like major movie, of course, but like a short film, it was still could be considered the first major thing. Like it just is all based on how it's responded to. But yeah, like I think the first run would, I think it definitely would be, in the animated version.
Just
And
get back to some of the comics. Yeah, I love the Foundation cover with well, I loved all the covers actually for
yep,
Foundation, to be honest.
hands down.
I really like the Donald Mustard one. Um, and then Mitchell, yes, the copy that sold today sold for $2,700. That was the black and white, very limited run of the Greg Capullo,
Yeah.
and so that one sold for a lot, and it's really rare. So a really good comic. And then let's see, Mile High also said Jonesy will make a first appearance in a Marvel movie. I could see that, but I
Hmm.
think the Foundation may make the first appearance. I don't know.
Hmm. And Richard, yeah, that would be hard to pull off man cake for sure.
Did we see any details on the Disney Plus? I haven't. Have you? I haven't looked recently, to be honest.
Well, that Disney Plus thing was a I is he talking about the one article that happened, that because there was one article that was April Fool's joke, and then there was another one where they had the Disney Plus accounts that you could get the free Disney Plus when you sign up for like the crew pack and everything. So it was
I
two
mean,
different ones.
they keep doing all these Marvel crossovers, so
Hmm.
like that could be related to the Disney Plus, but I haven't seen. I still stand by my idea that they're going to go big and do their own streaming service. I
Hmm.
literally think that Fortnite is positioned to give Hulu, Disney, everyone a run for their money.
Hmm.
I mean, they've got so many views on YouTube. They have all these gamers who are playing it. They've got all these Twitch streamers watching Fortnite. The
Hmm.
very next thing is like animated or live action shows. And why would they give it to Netflix? Like, what would be the purpose of giving that over when they can just do it on their own platform?
Hmm. Yeah. I would say I can see that happening and then it being after a period of time, just like if a movie is in the theater or if it's on a specific platform, it eventually going to like a Hulu, like under a Disney. I can see something along that lines, or Disney Plus, like later on, like 3 months, 4 months later. But just seeing Fortnite's collaboration and the way they're building, I can see a case where they stay in their own system for sure, where they stay on their platform and maybe distribute it out down the road.
Yeah, and I mean, for most of the audience is going to be playing Fortnite, and you if you can log onto your PlayStation, open up Fortnite on your
Mhm,
TV, and then just play the shows. Now, I think because that's what was their big battle. Like they don't want to give their subscription service to Apple. They didn't want to have to pay all that percentage.
mhm,
But that's why mobile's so important. Like I don't think that they're just trying to get people to play Fortnite on mobile. Like I think they
mhm,
have bigger plans,
mhm.
and that's why it was important to them to be on mobile.
Yeah.
I mean, because people played it on mobile, but like the serious gamers,
Well, see, that's the thing. The serious gamers is a smaller percentage than the casual gamers.
well,
But
even
but
yeah, even
yeah,
casual. But
but
I'd take the phone gamers to a whole nother level of casual, wouldn't you?
for sure, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's and I guess that's the thing that they really wanted that level of casual.
Hmm.
Because it eventually turns into something completely different. You become the actual casual, and then eventually you could possibly become a true gamer. But that was one of I think that's one pocket that not so much recovering from, but they pivoted from and kind of found a way to kind of get around that.
Okay, I like Kari's question here. Um,
Me too.
are we confident there is a series 4 coming?
No.
I am not confident. I'm 50-50. I'm
100.
like, so I heard a rumor through like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Has it been 2 years? That that Panini only had a 3-year contract or whatever.
Hmm.
That was what I heard. Is that true? I don't know. It was an article I read. I tried to look for any kind of contract online.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know why that's sticking with me. They did so well. I'm sure Panini is trying hard.
Hmm.
I mean, I doubt they're going to let this go when they've already lost all this other stuff. Um, they were very impressed with how well Series 3 did.
Hmm.
Um, so I would suspect that they're trying to do it, but I'm not 100% confident that there is one.
Yeah. I
What does
am.
that mean for cards?
Yeah, pretty much what Dylan is saying. I'm 100% confident that something's being negotiated. I am 50% confident that there's anything in play yet.
Now, we know that they've been having trouble getting in-game codes. So,
Mhm.
like, if they're having trouble doing that, like, how successful will they be negotiating a contract to do the cards?
Mhm.
And how could they do the cards if they let Magic the Gathering do the Fortnite cards,
Yeah.
which did come after
After it
Series
did.
3?
It did.
So, the Magic the Gathering cards were released after Series 3, after the 3 years of Panini.
Mhm.
So, no, I'm not confident to answer
Yeah.
that
No,
question.
that's
I hope. There's
mhm.
so much they could do. Um, that would really suck.
Yeah. I mean, uh I'll be honest, I would love there's a lot of skins slash characters that I would still love to have in my PC. I hope and pray that a series 4 is coming out.
Mhm.
Um, but if there's a standoff when it comes to who's gonna produce them and it takes 2 to 3 years, I still have a lot of groundwork to do. So it wouldn't be too bad.
Now, we're saying that, like, people are saying, like, Richard said that, someone would pick it up, right? Like, Upper
Hmm.
Deck, right?
Hmm.
But if all like, let's say, what's the new company that just bought all the sports?
Fanatics.
Fanatics, right? They
Hmm.
just bought all the sports. Like, they may not even be looking for entertainment cards. You know what I mean? Like, why would they bother going into freaking Fortnite, if
Well,
they
it
don't
was
know? Now, Panini, they've seen the sales, they've seen the demand for it, but those other companies probably haven't, and they're probably not even looking. Like, we can't even get like Fortnite gamers to talk about the cards yet, right? So how do we know that Fanatics is looking at Fortnite cards?
I think Fanatics definitely understands, and I only go based off of Zero Cool. Zero Cool is gonna
Mhm,
focus a lot of the percentage of Zero Cool's focus is gonna be on entertainment, and I do think they know of Fortnite. Um, my gut feeling is the reason why, if anything is quiet, is because I think Fanatics is trying to buy Panini in totality.
mhm.
So I think if we don't hear something, I think it's along those lines. And that could mean that if Fanatics gets Panini, they drop Fortnite, or Fortnite is like, I'm good. Either way, that could happen, but also it may end up being in the forefront as well. For Fortnite is such a strong IP that I cannot see nobody not picking it up.
That's true.
And I would say that based off of what Fanatics is doing and what Zero Cool is doing, I can see that happening. I don't know if I'll be happy with that because it's a lot that goes into that realm.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah,
What I would not be happy with is if there was no cards,
yeah,
that's like so as long as someone picks it up. But I agree with the IP front. I mean, you've got cards for animes and stuff
yeah,
like that. Like I've seen My Hero Academia, they
yeah.
have cards.
Jackass
Um,
has cards.
so yeah, so
Yeah,
it'd be hard to imagine that they just stop cold turkey. Um, appreciate it,
yeah.
Jake. Yeah, we're
There it
always
is.
gonna be live. We're
Always
here. We're
live.
consistent, if
Yes,
nothing else.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, so like as long as we get something, I'll be
Yeah,
happy. It's just I don't know that it's gonna be with Panini.
right.
Um,
For sure. I agree.
and I'm okay with that. I mean, for us, for you and I, we like the comics too.
Yeah.
So like, if for some reason they
Mhm,
stop the cards, I'll be super sad.
mhm.
But then I'll just have to dive into my comic
And
collecting.
I'll also say this, I'll add on to what Dylan is saying because he's completely right. If they stop the cards, I am so far behind compared to the top 1% of collectors. I will still be collecting as if all 3 series are new. That's pretty
Oh
much
yeah,
like, because there's so much that you still can do. Now, don't get me wrong, there will definitely be a plateau in collecting the cards if nothing else is coming out. But
hmm
it's so many unique, because that's what happened. Like when it came to Marvel, when it came to when cards hit a wall, the true collectors, they built sets, they did unique things, and they kind of found their way through it. Unfortunately, with Fortnite, it's not as many sets to do. I mean, it's not as many series, but if 3 series was it for right now, it's still a lot of
there's
groundwork that I have to
there's
do.
still a lot you could do, and I also think the rarity of certain cards I don't see the prices taking too much. I think they've already taken a
Hmm.
huge hit with this
Hmm.
market,
Hmm.
and like anything lower, I mean, our community is so small,
Yeah.
and the Fortnite fan base is so large
Hmm.
that even if you cut off cards, I could still see them going up in value.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just think that there's such a levels to like how many people play and love Fortnite to the
Hmm.
people who know about the cards.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this, Richard, because I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, exactly. They could blow up or dip, and you'd be happy with either way. Like, I mean, if they dip, I can get
Like,
a lot more cards that I want,
mhm,
and be like a
because
collector.
yeah, and the truth is, if they were to halt it, it does. In my eyes, I don't know about yours, Dylan. I mean, you just said it, but it does nothing to the series. Like, it doesn't diminish them in my eyes, at least.
hmm
It just means that there's no more coming out, and we're halted with the fact that if it does start back up, let's say 3 years later, you know how many skins and characters are involved in that, and where Fortnite will be in 3 years.
Could you
So it's
imagine
just
the
so many things
buildup?
happen.
Could you
My
imagine the
goodness,
buildup? Like if they waited
listen,
2 years, because I remember they waited a whole. It felt like forever for Series 3 to came out. So if they waited 3 years for another company to release the cards, oh
yeah,
my gosh, the buildup would be crazy. I'd be
yep.
super excited. Um, Kari asked about our opinion on Series 2 Optichrome versus Series 1 Hollow.
Mhm.
You think they should be valued
Um,
equally?
no, I think Series 1 should still be above a Series 2 Optichrome, but
Mhm.
not by much. Well, I
Um,
can't say that. I can't say that because of who's on the cards.
yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason why I
Series
can't
1
say that.
Hollows were rare as hell to pull,
Mhm.
and the skins are so nostalgic.
Exactly.
Series 2, I know some disagree with me, but, like, besides for me, Or and Hush, those are, like, my big ones. But Ice King's kind of moving up there. But
I'll
you
even
know,
give it as much as he's not used. I'll even give it to Ultimate Knight. Ultimate Knight's a great card. Like he
it
really
looks
is. Like
great.
yeah, he's a great card. Obviously he is, and the truth is he is a remake of the Black Knight.
Hmm.
He is. That's what he is. So if anything, if people want to ride that wave, Ultimate Knight makes a lot of sense. I like Ultimate Knight. I loved it when I had his cards. But when it comes to Series 1 Hollows, the rarity of pulling it, the nostalgia behind the skins, the nostalgia behind the set,
This,
it's just too
yeah.
it's just too much to bargain
The
with.
other thing with like Series One is like so many people were like ripping and then throwing them out.
Mhm.
You didn't have that for Series Two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everyone saw how much money it was worth. Um, I mean, they have very similar pull rates.
Mhm.
Yes. Um, pretty
And
much, it's pretty much the same pull rate if I remember correctly.
yeah, and I genuinely think because I know Dylan differs on this just based off of how he views, how you collect. Uh Storyline wise, I think Series 2 is very underrated. I think Series 2 is underrated in general, price wise, but it's a lot in Series 2 that I think people aren't paying attention to. It has no to me is no competition with Series 1 and the nostalgia that brings. But Series 2 definitely has its pocket, and I think it's heavily in the storyline, and then obviously a couple sweat
I
skins.
mean, I agree. It's just for me, Series Two didn't hit. It doesn't mean that it's not going to hit for other people.
Right,
Like, I don't want
exactly.
to trash Series Two. But it's just for me personally. I was a big fan of Aura and Hush, and the rest kind of fell short. But I know there are people. I mean, there's links in there. Paradigm, and she's
Hmm.
getting so much story time. And people are really talking about her on Twitter and like all this stuff. And like Ice King is getting all these mentions, and people remember that that's their favorite
Yeah,
time. They wanted that story. So it was just for me, Series 2 isn't big, doesn't mean that
yeah.
it can't be for other people that doesn't
And
have potential.
and I recorded a video on this on Wednesday, so I don't want to talk about it too much because it's coming out soon. But the thing is, when it comes to like Paradigm is going into a leading role into in this season, in the next season, and that's going to be major. Like the fact that she's going into a direction that puts her where the foundation was 5 seasons ago. We're really about to get a lot of Paradigm. Paradigm should be a focal point. We don't know for sure yet, but if Paradigm ends up having as much as I think she will in this next season, um, I mean my top 10 list, and I'm not talking about PC cards. My true top 10 list of Series 2, it would be a lot different than a lot of people's.
Now, I'm glad you brought Paradigm back up, and I keep going back to this video between Donald Mustard and someone asked him. He said, "I'll tell you one of the most important characters over the next 2 years is Singularity." And then now we learned that Paradigm and Singularity are not the same person,
Mm-hmm.
and Paradigm has gained all this time, and they made that like a fact. So we could see a lot of Singularity next season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that plays in, and I saw some people since it's called Paradise, people like, "Oh, this season's going to be slow again." Definitely not. I think this
Mm-hmm.
season is going to have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, JT.
Oh
Um,
yes. Yep.
PSA is doing the bulk submission.
Mm-hmm.
I had this up here. $22 per card.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody
20.
knows how mad I was about my upcharge and like it took me over a year to get my cards back. But at $22 is cheap compared to like I think SGC is still 30.
Yes.
Let me check on that.
Yeah, for the
Because I
ones
like
that
SGC too, but like if we're talking about price wise,
yeah.
yeah, they're still at $30. Now the turnaround time's faster, 20 to
Yes.
25 days.
Mm-hmm.
But 22 is not bad. It's only 120 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I just want this moment. If there's anybody that was watching High Ground Lives over the past couple months, can y'all help me say to Dylan, I told you so? Because
Oh,
I told them that Dylan was gonna do this, and
but
he did.
listen,
No,
listen,
okay, go ahead,
listen,
go ahead, go ahead,
listen.
go ahead. You got the
It
floor.
was it was the price. I
Of
I
course,
submitted at $18, but
yes,
SGC was twice the price, and I
yes.
sent in reloaded. Okay,
Hmm.
now I said that I was mad about it, but I don't mind waiting for the reloaded cards. and I'm not gonna spend twice the price to get reloaded graded right now.
You said
That
because of
was
the
that
time,
was the
and
only reason. That was the
no, it
only
was not
reason.
the only reason. You said you would never send the PSA again. You would
I said
never
I
use
don't know that I will ever send it again, but then I also didn't think they'd be cheaper
yo,
than SGC.
but
So I
this
don't know. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
thank you, Richard. Thank
I'm
you.
still subbing with SGC once they bring their price back down to match PSA.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I like both. I like both.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I like
Um
both. People are saying cap. Okay.
like, hey, come on, bro.
I mean, it is
Fam-
$22 for them to hold them forever, but
fa- no, it's not. It's 120 days, and it probably will come back around,
I will say
let's
I
say
sent my cards
95.
in for the. I sent my me check here my
Famous,
account.
what's up, bro?
So I submitted cards to PSA at the $18, and I was hesitant because I knew you guys wouldn't give me crap. And I sent that on August 8th. It's
Yeah.
September 9th, so it's been 30 days, and I am already in the let's see research and ID phase.
Yeah.
It took me like a year to get to that phase last time,
Once
but I
Well,
know that I'm not going to get upcharged for reloaded.
yeah.
So that played into the part for me submitting,
Yeah.
if that makes
And
sense.
before we go to famous comment, and once again, I was saying I do think a lot of things happened when it came to PSA. We talk about this all the time, but I think people did not give them the benefit of the doubt when it came to the pandemic. The upcharge was absolutely ridiculous. Business wise of timing, I think they were harsh, and I'll stand on that.
Yeah, I
Um
agree. We don't
uh
have to go back to that. We always talk about
that's what I'm
that.
saying. We're going to famous comment now. Um that's dope, bro. Mine's did get shipped yesterday, so I can't wait to get those in.
See, Mile High, see, okay, I did say this. Yeah, as soon as prices come down, you'll change your mind. But when he said that, I was thinking in my head, okay, but if PSA price comes down, so will SGC, right?
Hmm.
That I mean, they half it was half the price. I was sitting reloaded, so I was like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna pay twice the price to get SGC? Probably
But
not.
see, the thing is, I thought till this day, and even with the $30 price, I think SGC is properly placed for second. You know what I mean? I think they're
Yeah.
properly placed for second. I think that 30 with that turnaround time, they
Hmm.
don't need to go lower. I think that's perfect.
It makes sense. It makes
Yeah,
sense. For me,
yeah,
I'm fine to wait. It was just my reloaded cards,
right.
right? And I already I have one. Already have some reloaded in PSA, so I was like, well, if it's half the price, I'll send it.
Yeah,
But yeah, see, Kari, you see, I felt bad sending it too because I said that, but they made it cheaper, and I'm a
yeah,
customer.
yeah,
It's like it was a discount. My
yeah.
wife was like, shout out to my wife, who always supports me all my Fortnite endeavors. She was like, "You're not sending that to PSA, are you?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, and then the next day she's like, "You didn't send that, right?" I said, "No, I did." She said, "Because she wasn't a fan either. She didn't like they held my cards for so long. We forgot what we got."
Yeah,
So she already gave me crap, so you guys don't have to.
yeah. Oh, we're doing
But
good, famous, by the way.
yeah, Secret Layers is shipping. I got my confirmation that it shipped as well.
Hmm.
Um, I'm excited about that. Now, I haven't told people this, but when you guys open it up, I want to know what your secret cards are.
Hmm.
I did see some secret layers of other
Hmm.
products it wasn't Fortnite, but some of the cards were a little
Yeah.
bit different.
Hmm.
So I want to know if there's a chance that they're different for Fortnite.
Yeah.
So like I want to see if there's something rare in something. So if you open yours and you see something different as your bonus card, please reach out because I want to see it.
Yeah.
I really hope they put something rare in there. But if they didn't, I still like what I get.
Wow, famous made sure we didn't miss something that we were supposed to talk about. Look at that. That's
Yes.
dope.
Yes. We will be at the Invitational. We
Yes,
already have our tickets.
including Black Ash,
Yeah. Rob, Black Ash, and I are all going to be at the Invitational.
which is gonna be amazing. Cannot wait for that, man. Cannot wait for that. I think that's gonna be major.
And I actually get my Secret Lair cards tomorrow. I'm
Y-
so excited. Maybe I'll go live and open a
Really?
pack.
Yeah, you should.
I'll open a pack tomorrow live. If you guys want to hang out. Um, so yes, there are some secret layers that got. There's one secret layer in particular that got a numbered card to 199 or to 100 or something,
Hmm.
and it was a mirrored card. So it was the card, but it was reversed, and then they gave it gold sketched numbering. so you could get like number 3 of 99. So I don't know if they would do something like that for Fortnite. It was only a 5-day release, but I'm just hoping they did something cool like that. That would be really cool. Is anyone
For
I'm
sure.
grading Secret Lair. Like, I like my
1000%.
cards graded. It just looks so
1000%.
nice. Where am I sending it now? You guys made me feel so bad. Um, I'm gonna
PSA.
go no, I'm gonna go for a I mean, I feel like I should be able to get a SGC pristine 10. Don't you think? With the rounded corners? That's not far-fetched, is it?
No, I think that's on point. I think it definitely you definitely can. And to be honest, obviously we didn't say how much you did, but I think you can do both. To be
Um,
honest.
I just got a message from my wife saying that 'cause she's not here right now, and I just said that I was gonna open up cards tomorrow, and she's like, "You gonna open those without me?" Um, so stay tuned. I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Um, best case scenario value for the secret lair cards. Um, Best case scenario. So
I
one of
have
those
no idea.
rare numbered versions for the bonus card sold for over $5,000, and
Mhm.
that was just some random magic card. And but of course it was numbered. It was one of those rare things I'm hoping they did. The actual other cards, I have no idea. I'm thinking at least like, what do you
Yeah.
think? 50 to 100 per card is like maybe really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I that one is so out of my realm, I couldn't even call it if I wanted to. But that sounds about right to me.
I mean, because if you think about it, you have Magic players that want it, and then you've got actual the collecting community. And
Mhm.
it was only available for 5 days to purchase.
Yeah.
Um, so, and I'm saying this, I ordered a lot. I won't tell you
Mhm.
guys how many. I ordered a lot, so take that with a grain of salt. Pay what you want to pay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm holding mine for a while, but I feel like they could grow in value. It was like one of the things was like, man, I'm gonna buy this as an investment.
Yeah.
Because I think people are gonna miss out on this and I'm gonna want to be able to sell it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get a set graded. I want tens. So I wanted to get more than that, but I like them. I think they can go up in value pretty well.
Mhm. For sure. I'm interested with the yeah, I'm definitely interested in what like the singles market does,
See, yeah,
within
like
the first
Kari
couple
said, the
months.
singles, because he likes
Mhm.
the boogie bomb.
Yeah.
And I think there'll be a lot like that.
Mhm.
Um, someone posted in the Facebook group that one of these cards from the Secret Lair set is one of the top four Magic cards this year.
Mhm.
One of the most important because they only release certain cards every so often,
Yeah.
and they have actual in-game effects.
Mhm.
So it was the one with the battle royale one that was at Tilted.
Yeah.
So that was one of the most important cards. So that could play into it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, singles will be very interesting. I'm excited to see what they do. What would be your favorite one?
I will tell you once I see them. I am definitely an in-hand person. So I will let y'all know then for sure cuz I'm pretty sure my mind will change. But mine
Um, I
did ship. I want to check if when I originally looked, let's see.
I have to say, I've been wanting a llama card for so long
Mhm.
that this is probably my favorite one, the llama card. And yeah, I think the llama card's my favorite one.
It
I
is
mean, the
dope.
cube
I
one
like
is
the
cool
cube one
too,
too, yeah.
but I mean, the llama for me just is pretty cool. It's one of my favorites. You got the chug splash in there.
Yeah.
This one's my least favorite, the vault. Yeah, it's my least favorite. It's not that crazy. I don't care too much for the dance one. This one's pretty epic. You got Dark Bomber, Peely,
Mhm.
Jonesy. I don't know who that is over there. You got Meow Skulls and the Battle Bus. So this is one of those.
That's a pretty good card right
This is a
there.
pretty good card. I like that one. Um, and then I guess the cube is pretty dope. I'm
Mhm.
I'm sure yours favorite would be the Battle Bus with
With Lux, yeah.
with Lux, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's and she's front and center. My goodness, that's probably one I'll just continuously pick up for fun.
now honestly, if someone else does Fortnite cards going forward and they do designs like these,
Yeah,
how big of a fan would you be?
a very big fan.
Like, if you take out the letterings and stuff like that, maybe, like,
Mhm.
so, like, you just get, like, the artwork?
Well, I said that I want action shots. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely do. I genuinely want action shots. And even unique things like this.
Mhm.
I would love that, and
I mean, that's a pretty action shot right there. It's just not
yeah,
full card. Like, if
right.
you had a full card of the action shot,
But they did really well drawing Jonesy, Cuddle Team Leader. I mean,
they
they,
got the head right
yeah,
for Cuddle Team Leader.
yeah.
We got our fish sticks here.
And you know what I will say? I will say this. I noticed something. So I was clipping videos like and stuff, right? And I was looking at all the past events. I love that DJ Yonder, like obviously DJ Yonder is a DJ, but I like
Yeah.
that DJ Yonder is the DJ of the island. Like I love that.
Mhm.
Like I love that in every situation he was the DJ. It wasn't just like a one-off for his season. Like he's legit the DJ of the island. And I like that about DJ Yonder. I really do.
Yeah, that's a cool aspect, and a lot of people like the DJ cards too.
Yeah.
And this doesn't have the secret card on here, the Boogie Bomb. So I can't show that, but I'm sure y'all seen them.
Yeah, I'm 1000% getting them slabbed though.
So famous, you want a Fortnite card game now? I mean, honestly, as like I don't know, I just like to collect the artwork for the cards and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I mean, if there was a full Magic deck, that'd be pretty crazy. I wouldn't even know what to collect at that point. I
Yeah.
like that there's only 9 Magic the Gathering Fortnite cards, you know? Or I guess there's, what, 18 because of the how many
Yeah.
lands was it? 5?
Yeah.
There's only, like, a dozen Fortnite Magic the Gathering cards, so since I don't collect Magic the Gathering, it's pretty easy for me to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it being kinda bad. It'd be hard to do. So secret lair cards are released, and then they're never printed again. So they're different than other Magic the Gathering cards where like you can go to the store and buy a pack and pull your card. You can't pull these cards.
Mhm.
You could only buy these cards during that 5-day window, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
So they're no longer available. They'll never print them again. Um, Interesting. Here it says the first drop contains 7 exciting reskin Fortnite unique brand multi. The first drop.
That is
Hmm.
interesting.
I'm sorry, I'm not showing it. Here on their website, it says the first drop contains 7 exciting cards. I wonder if they're talking about the lands as the second drop, or if they're gonna do more.
Right. Oh, and Mile High was talking about the Boogie Bomb card.
What about the Boogie Bomb?
I
Oh
think he
yes, the secret. No, they're just. I get what you mean by now by the secret. I thought you meant secret layer. Um, they're not more rare, unless so. Like each pack comes with a secret card. So the
mhm.
Boogie Bomb was the secret card. Some other secret layer drops changed that out and put more rare versions in there. I was trying to look into it. There's not too much available to know, but like some were like blueprint versions. But there was one set of secret layer where they put numbered versions in there, so someone could get lucky and pull a 1 of 99 version of the card, which was more rare. It's
Mhm.
only happened like I think it happened this year or last year, but it doesn't happen too often. So it
Yeah.
was kind of like a moonshot kind of wish that they would do that with this.
Okay, I'm gonna go we're gonna go back up to MC and Kyrie question in a second, but I'm gonna go to famouses real quick. Uh it will not I really do like the chair. The chair is dope. Did you see it?
No,
The,
which
the
chair?
game the gaming chair, the Fortnite gaming chair?
No, I have not seen it.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find a link or something, but I'll show you at some point. But it's a dope chair. They did a collaboration with I can't remember the company name, but obviously they make gaming chairs. But
It's a Fortnite gaming chair.
yeah, it's pretty dope.
All right,
Uh,
send it to me because
yeah,
it'll be here tomorrow.
yeah.
Just kidding, just
No,
kidding.
I'm gonna send it to you.
How expensive is it? I
it's not
need a new
it's not as
chair.
it's not as bad as you think. I'll say
I
that.
need a new chair. Yeah, Rob will send it to me. I'll look at it because
Yeah,
that sounds interesting. I need a new chair. I've been holding off getting one.
here it is. Yeah, it's not as bad as you think though.
Oh, Secret Labs. I've heard of them. It's not like a $5,000 chair, is it?
No, 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 no.
Hopefully, it's like affordable.
I think you'll be okay with it.
Yeah, I agree, Kari. The way that Fortnite's doing the cards is really, really good.
Um,
I'm not down for like a game. I wouldn't play it anyway.
yeah. And when it comes to MC question up here, wait, was it? Is that the one? Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that as well. MC.
Is the one you sent? Is this the right one?
You might have to go to it,
Oh,
but you
okay.
can
I have
just
to
click.
select it.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I should just share this so that people can see. Okay, the back is crazy.
Yeah, the back is nuts.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You get a back pillow with it too. It's pilly. I forgot who else it is.
Yo, that the back is crazy.
It is.
$624. If my wife is watching, do I need a new chair? Oh, it has a Victory Royale on there.
Well, you were saying your back was hurting earlier, so maybe you do.
I think I need a new chair.
Yeah, the
That thing
thing
looks nice.
you've been looking a little uncomfortable the past couple weeks. You might
Yeah,
need a new chair.
see that, babe? You hear it? You hear
Yeah.
this? Oh my gosh. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna have to look into that. It says pre-order. Is it gonna sell out? Hmm.
That's a good
I don't know
question.
why you send this to me. I've got so many collectibles to buy. Now I gotta look at freaking
There you go.
chairs.
Jay,
Maybe I can like deduct it like they said medical
there you
purposes,
go.
right?
Medical
Yeah.
purposes.
It's for my job. It's for
You've
the
been
job.
you've been slouching a lot. I just see the discomfort you've been having.
100%. They've got a whole video on here to show you how to sit down on it
Yeah, you know.
and the pillow. I mean, I have a pillow too, but
I just like how Famous said it though. You need a chair, bro.
yeah, you need a chair. Kari said I'm going to the doghouse. My wife is probably shaking her head right now. Hopefully she went to sleep. It's 11:30. Are you still awake? Um, all right, but yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna open up the secret layers if it comes. I don't know what time it's supposed to come.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
MC, and they're pretty hyped for it because they got it sent to them too. Let's put that out there. They got it sent for promotion purposes. That
yeah,
was the
so of course you're
pre-chat.
gonna be hyped about it.
Yeah, I would
But
be hyped
like,
too.
I'd be hyped too because like if you think Fortnite, some like Fortnite stuff can be kind of lame, you know.
Hmm.
But that was not. That's
It,
pretty dope looking. I'd be
it's
excited to get that chair.
I've realized that Dylan can attest to this. I've realized that over the past year, the Fortnite merch and collaborations like outside of the game has become a little bit more mature than
Hmm.
than we've seen in the past. Uh, and I'm excited about that. Hopefully, the World Cup when it comes back around, that jacket is not as kid friendly. I wouldn't wear that. I would have it as a collectible piece, but I want something that's a little bit
You talking
more.
about the one I was looking at
Yeah,
on
yeah,
eBay?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
wouldn't wear it either,
Yeah,
but
I can.
I looked at it, I was like, I kind of want that. It's
Yeah,
like
collection wise, dope. Maybe do something with that. But I like stuff that I can wear. So
yeah, but you're really big on the
yeah,
fashion.
yeah, yeah. I like the.
It's got to hit all the markers for you,
Yeah, I
right?
like it. It has to. Like I have to, and like I don't like to have a T-shirt that I like wear every once in a while. Like I like T-shirts that I live in. Like I have to
Hmm.
wash it consistently because I like to wear it that much. So and I like it to have the vintage look. So you
But I
gotta
have
wear it.
noticed that. I mean, they've been partnering
Y-
with real brands,
Yeah,
so like high end brands too. So they're getting to that luxury part of
yeah.
the IP. I feel like
Hmm.
um, it's really interesting where they're going. I mean, we
Yeah.
could talk about their IP for like years.
Listen, you really can't because the thing is, what makes it so interesting about Fortnite is that the news is in different directions every week. It could be the
Hmm.
comic, then it's a new season, then it's a chair, then it's this collaboration with Balenciaga and
Or
Montclair and
Dragon Ball
or
Z.
Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. Let's not do that. We gotta
My
separate
fault,
them.
y'all. My fault.
Yeah,
Dragon
yeah,
Ball
yeah.
Super.
I saved us, bro. Don't worry. I saved
Because
us.
Dragon Ball Z is from like
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
used to
yeah,
watch it
yeah,
like 100 years
yeah.
ago. That's what I used to watch.
So Dragon Ball Super and it takes over, it takes over the whole Fortnite world and the actual social media world as well. It's hard to keep up, to be honest. We keep up very well because we're on it all the time, but it's hard to keep up if you're casually just looking for it.
I mean, especially when you think about like all the people, like when The Rock did his little video and he
Yeah,
just did a cameo with the helmet inside his
yeah,
fridge. I mean, they just drop so much different content so
bro.
often. And
And
then we're
then
talking about the metaverse. Like we haven't even gotten to it. Like forget like everything any other company's doing.
not touching it.
Like the metaverse, like people think I'm crazy, but I'm so big on the Fortnite Islands thing. Who was I
Mhm,
talking to? Mac Darwin. He's not in here today.
mhm.
He was messaging me. He's like, "Did you guys ever talk about?" And I have to timestamp this 140 so I can tell him. He told me about the movie Ready Player One.
Love that movie. Yeah.
Okay, I actually had never seen it or read the
Oh,
book.
really? Yeah. Okay.
So he messaged me, he said, and he was asking all these questions about it. I was like, I haven't read that or seen it, and he told me to read it, and I had to be honest because my wife is watching, and I don't really read that much. To be honest, I'm not a reader unless it's like a business
So
book, you
you're
know.
telling me you don't read your chapter a night before you go to bed and turn the lights out, Dylan?
No,
Is
no,
that what
I don't.
is that what you're telling
I
me?
don't read. I don't read that often. So I watched the movie. As soon as you
Yeah.
told me, I waited a day and I watched the movie, and he was getting at the point that Fortnite is really similar to, like, how there's different islands in that game, and
Mhm,
he's trying to talk about the comparison between it, and I think that's real, right? I think
mhm,
you can go there to watch the movies. Like, if you wanna
mhm.
go to the movies with your friends, you
Yeah.
could go into the Fortnite, go to a movie island, and watch some movies.
Mhm.
Um, so, like, I saw the comparison that he was making with the movie,
Yeah.
um, and the worlds that are in there. And I really think Fortnite's going there. Like Fortnite's not going to be one game
No.
eventually. You're
Yeah.
gonna creative is gonna make it so that it's more than just one game. It's gonna be a whole like metaverse of games, movies, and just things you want to do. You already have the Martin Luther King memorial that you
Yep.
can go through and look at the museum and
Yep.
and learn about history.
Mhm.
So there's so many things. You have our Heartland where you can go and watch concerts.
Yep.
Um, so I really liked his comparison. So if you haven't seen the movie, it's pretty good. Um, if you want to read, if that's your thing, if it's fundamental, I'm not saying I can't read unless you ask my wife. Um, I just don't usually read. I've got so much
Yeah.
other stuff going on that I don't want to
Yeah.
like. I don't know. I have business books. I can show you guys some books I've read.
I got proof.
I have proof. I've read a book. I'll show you a bookmark.
No,
Um,
Kyrie talking about our conversation last week with the lasers. Yeah,
mhm.
man. Yeah. It's scarce out there, bro. It is. It really is. Like,
Are there any on eBay for PSA 10s? No.
nah, I mean, not really. Not that I seen.
Hmm.
Um,
I still haven't. I'm gonna start looking into that. I haven't really looked. I
listen,
haven't really looked too much.
I'll say this, lasers,
JT,
bro.
stop. He said my books
Display
are for display
display
purposes. Dang, do you know me in real life? Is that
No, it was funny because, like, as you was talking, I was thinking of, like, Adam Sandler's Billy Madison when he was in the class, and he was like, "Get it out already," when he was reading, when the kid was
that's one of
reading.
my wife's favorite movies.
No, yeah,
Um,
man, that's funny.
yeah, I pulled out a comic book, pulled out 0 point number 3. I told you I read one of the first books I read. Um, yeah, I don't even think I have any raw. I have a couple raw lasers.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I'll look at it. I don't know who I'd want to get the laser for. Oh, Galaxia maybe.
Elite
I'm just not a
Agent.
huge fan of the card in general, but I definitely could see the grading possibilities of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, like, for me personally, like, cracked ice will always be number 1, but my like I said before, like, I immediately went in and got, like, my favorites in lasers, like, in a clean laser, like Winter Aura, Focus, Elite Agent, Terra, Bandolier, whatever his name is, all of those skins, I had
Mhm.
to.
Yeah, and I kinda like, I've been putting off buying cards recently, but now I kinda wanna get back into it.
Mhm.
Prices are still low. Actually, I kinda wanna rip. Maybe I'll buy some megas and rip.
Yeah. Them 2 hats, bro, you gotta wear the comic and a car hat, you just gotta take
It
one off and
literally
put
that's
one
how it
on.
is. It's
Yeah.
like, I'll be on the comics hard, not paying attention to the
Mhm.
cards for a while, and then
Yep.
I'll switch back,
'Cause
and
it's small triggers that do it. It's just like a
mhm.
little trigger, and then you'll venture off completely on the comic side, then something else will happen, and it cars and it's based off of just what happens off of what you experience throughout the week.
Like, when I get my Magic the Gathering cards tomorrow,
It's
when
gonna
I
hit,
open
yeah.
those, I feel like that's gonna be like, "Okay, I need to get some more cards. I need to
Yeah,
open more stuff."
yeah.
That's gonna be the trigger for me. Um, but, I mean, it's gonna be a while. I
Mhm.
mean, thank God we have the comics because it's gonna be, what, whole year to even
Yeah.
see if we
What
get
I
more cards.
what I don't like is that my YouTube tells me what I've been attracted to, like, in a aspect, like, I haven't had any, like, comic book videos pop up in, like, my algorithm because 'cause I've been focused, like, on the cards, and
Mhm.
now it's slightly changing because 'cause I've been doing more comic book stuff, like, over the past 2 days, and it's just funny, like, it's just like, it's like, "Okay, this is clearly the direction that I've been in," but, like, I feel you, like, the cards is just it's a lot of things, especially Series 3. Series 3 is so cheap right now. Series 1, everything's cheap right now, really. Like if we're being
Yeah.
honest, besides a couple cards.
Well, I would even say Series 1 is out there.
Yeah.
Like, forget price wise, but, like, USA Series 1 wasn't just, like, it was out of reach before.
Hmm.
It
It
wasn't
wasn't
on eBay.
available. Yeah.
It was not available,
Hmm.
and that's the bigger thing for me, and when I'm looking at Series 1, it's like, it's actually available
Yeah.
versus, like, the price. Because you say
Yeah.
it's cheap, but, like, a couple $100 for a card is still expensive. I
It's
mean,
expensive.
we've gone numb to the fact because, like, it's cheaper,
Yeah.
but the fact that it's available is crazy
Well,
stuff.
let me say, like, I definitely get what you're saying. The reason why I say we didn't go numb to it is because we're doing a service of what we've experienced
Mhm.
and what we've experienced the price go to. So if you
That's
are
true.
just coming in, it's not cheap, but it's cheap in
Yeah.
that aspect. You know what I mean? Like, so
We're letting
yeah,
you know this is cheap.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Spending $300 is is definitely a thing. But if you do have the means to, that is the pocket that you kind of want to be in compared to, let's say 6, 7 months ago when it was 1,200.
If
So
you're just now tuning in to Fortnite cards and you're coming from sports
mhm,
where like you might buy a rookie for like, I don't know, or any character you want for like
yeah,
$5 to $15, you know
mhm,
what I mean? Pretty easily without it
yeah,
being a numbered card.
mhm,
This it's expensive, guys, but it's so much rarer.
mhm,
Like it's so much harder to pull some of these cards.
yeah,
Um, there's just not gonna be enough available. So
yeah,
right now, 40 bucks for your favorite skin in a shard,
mhm,
you can't really beat that in my opinion.
yeah. And
That's worth the $40 to me.
and if you're coming in, I'm telling you, I know how the sports card market is.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Pause. Famous. Don't mess with me. Are you talking about different secret cards, or are you
Mhm.
talking about the secret cards they included? You can be a little bit more specific here. Are you talking about the Spire and the Boogie Bomb, or their alternates? I need to know because I've been waiting to figure this out for months.
Yeah,
Because if there's alternate secret cards, it's gonna be crazy, crazy,
yeah,
crazy. I need another USIA shard
yeah. I feel
machine.
you I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
Yeah, I think it's just the ones they've included. But like, if you find someone else, let me know.
Richard said when switched over from sports, it's hard to get used to how hard it is to, find cards, and that is 100% true.
This
It's
is the last card. I think I showed this right
yeah,
last time. This is
hmm,
the last card I got, and I'm in love with it. This is a PC card,
yeah,
thanks to my main man Chase.
yeah. That's and it is and it really is different, Richard. 100%. It's man, it's something unique. Like I remember when I first came into the Fortnite cards, my small PC was like, if you're football fans, just it was LaShawn McCoy and Josh Allen. Like that's really what it was, and Gabe Davis. Um, coming into coming into Fortnite cards, it was a lot different for sure.
What I like about the Fortnite cards, and what I think is gonna take a while for it to actually pop, is like we talked about, is like the whole stigma and stuff. And like people have to hate on the game, like Dead Game. They have to hate on it so
Hmm.
hard until like they realize people are still, they don't care. They're just gonna keep loving the game.
Yeah.
Like anime went through this.
Hmm.
The freaking, like if you watch Gary Vee, like the internet went through this. Like he talks
Hmm.
about it all the time. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like, no
Web
one's
two,
gonna do stuff on the internet.
Web
No
2.0.
one's gonna use social media. I feel like the same thing with Fortnite. It's
Yeah.
like no one's gonna
Yeah.
play this game. It's like that stuff's gonna die off,
Yeah.
and then people are gonna wish that they got this. Same thing with Pokemon cards. Like your
Hmm.
grandparents throwing it away, your parents throwing it away. It's like it's
Yeah.
not gonna be worth anything. The same thing was with Fortnite cards. So it's just gonna take a while. But
Yeah.
I'm just so glad we're here so early.
For real. For sure. Uh
So you're on Rob's side, huh, Joey? I see how it is. No, it's okay. No, I see how it is.
no, this is man, listen, I'm telling you that animated version, because I get what Dylan, because if Dylan remembers, I said
Mhm.
exactly what you like, that's what I felt. And then I'm looking, I'm like, but if they take time just to do animated versions, like kind of transitioning us
I just
into it.
I think if they do an animated version, it's gonna be a show. I don't
Okay.
think the first full movie,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
talking movie.
Yeah.
I think if they do a first full movie, it's not gonna be an anime movie. I'm not like, like Incredibles or something like that. I think it's gonna be full on live action. But
Yeah.
that's just my guess.
Yeah, I feel you. Uh, very rare, silently released. Yeah, yeah. No, I feel you on that.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I have cards that
Yeah,
I could sell
yeah,
that I don't want to. It's just hard.
yeah. LaShawn McCoy is a goat, and Gabe definitely went off. You know, I could go on a whole sports. I'm on a football high right now, so I'm trying to contain that after what happened last night. We take it one game at a time, but we're looking pretty good, man.
Card. So yeah, when y'all say y'all need to be clear. If y'all saying anime versus animation, because I think
No, I
Rob
mean
was saying
animation. Yeah,
yeah, Rob was saying animation. Anime is completely different. I agree. A Fortnite anime
would be amazing.
would be so weird,
Hmm.
but amazing. Like if they could pull that off, because anime is big right now,
Hmm.
and they actually pulled off an actual anime show.
But if you notice what's happening, and I said this before when it came to the anime side, it's the way the anime skins are coming out. It's coming out the same way the approach chapter 1 season 4
Hmm.
when those characters started coming out. This is the exact same way the anime ones is coming out. They attack the comic books. I can definitely see them attacking manga. Like, I really can. I can see them doing it. It would be major. Don't know how it would pass over, but I would be interested in it.
I would be interested in anime.
Yeah.
I like anime personally. Um, how would they do it for Fortnite? I don't know. They'd have to focus on a certain character in their world
Hmm.
versus the actual Fortnite world.
Right.
Because like anime is so like over the top action a
Yeah.
lot of the time,
Hmm.
like out of this world kind of action.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would be completely different than like the main storyline. So it'd be like one of those characters in their own world.
Yeah.
Um, I I mean, I'd be down for it though.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
This is let's see.
No, I don't think build battling is gonna be canon. We were talking about this earlier about what's canon, what's not. I think build battling is a thing for Fortnite. I don't think it's canon to the story.
Mm-mm.
I think that's the aspect of the game, and that's why you have no builds, right? Like I just think that's part of the game,
Even
and
though
it's not
Sloan did
canon.
take the builds away, it could do something, but as of right now, I don't think it's
Yeah.
canon.
Yeah, I think that was just game wise because we're now getting to that point where they have to separate the game and canon, and it'll be way too difficult for them to restrain the game just to keep it in line with the story and vice versa.
But
Um,
and in my head, I agree with you but in my head, I also feel like that's why I'm like multiple titles have to happen, and not at the same time, but like having like okay, let's say Alter versus Ego, then having Fox Clan, all of these factions, which we got to talk about once we get off air. But yeah, all of these factions is just in the play, honestly.
hey, look at this comment. This is a good comment. Yeah, you can't build in live events. That's a good
Right,
point.
right.
That's
Yeah,
that's a good point.
you
But
can
what
only.
about guns? Would that be canon? I think so. I think they can be. Not all, like because right now at the end of the season they do Wild Week,
Mhm,
and that's just for the game.
mhm,
But like sometimes like Midas came in and introduced gold and stuff. I think that could be canon at some point.
mhm.
Like some of those things can be canon. Like someone could create a weapon and it become canon. Um, but I mean I think that's very small like things to worry about.
Yeah.
But we did just have oh, I didn't even think about this. We are getting a new gun
Mhm,
in the game next season, but Doom had all those weapons
mhm,
and they took some, and if they brought it back to the island,
mhm.
those could end up in the game and become canon.
Yeah,
I didn't think
yeah.
about that.
Ca Man,
I might have to go back and look at the guns and see. I don't remember anything that was like crazy that pointed out, but there is a scene with Jonesy holding a gun.
is the Zapatron canon?
I don't know. It's on the cover of a comic.
It's in the comic too, right? Wasn't Sloan holding it? She was
I
holding
think
this.
so. I
Yeah,
know
I
she was
think
holding on the cover, wasn't she?
she was holding it in the before she ran. I forgot. I think it was issue 1. It might have been. It might have been issue 1. I think it might have been canon.
We'll have to go back and look.
Yeah,
That would be interesting.
I didn't see the Ice King.
Now the Ice
Yeah,
King cranking 90s in the comic book.
The Ice King definitely would have bodied, the prisoner in a 1v1.
Honestly, if they put, like, building into the comic book, it would be it'd almost come off kind of lame, don't you think?
If not done right. Like, for instance, what I mean by that is if they leave it into the artist's
Shit,
hands
wait a
and not
minute.
done right, it. It was in Zero Point.
It was in Zero Point, guys.
Yeah, it was in Zero Point. It was one of the dopest, pages too.
I have it, let me pull it up.
It was when,
How did I forget about that? I literally have that saved.
it was during the Snake Eyes fight.
Mhm. Now,
Matter of
is
fact,
that canon?
it was before that. Yeah, it was before that too. I think it was all through Zero Point, but we had to also include that Zero Point was in the loop. So I don't know how. I guess you can look at it two different ways.
So, yeah, if you look here, you have them building, but they're just watching.
The way
So
we
there's
watch at the beginning of event,
so it could be, like, people built this and yeah, so and to watch, they're not necessarily build fighting
right?
or build battling. God, I don't even know what the term is. Build battle? Yeah. Um, was there a scene where they're actually there's no scene with them holding up the
No,
thing
it's no,
and
yeah,
building.
no, it's
That
no
would be
building.
kinda lame. This is done in a way that's like, "Hey, it's Fortnite," but they're not literally build battling.
Yeah, like
It's just spectating.
this reminds me of when when we're waiting for the event to happen and we have all the
Mhm.
builds up. That's what this reminds me of.
Which is kind of this was like an event they were watching pretty much, like, they were mesmerized, right?
That's Trog, Richard. That's Trog.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah. Look
I
at
remember him.
Bright Bomber, man. Yo, I'm just saying, obviously this is hour 2, but next week, y'all, as a community, we have to go back over this tier list because
Ooh,
there's 3 characters that should be in iconic.
there's just so many things we have to redo with we have to get back to the tier list. I have
Yeah.
to so if you guys haven't seen, we updated the website. I
Yes.
put a lot of work into it. I'm
Yes.
gonna do more. We're gonna add first appearances. We're gonna work on that tier list for you guys.
Yeah.
It's just a lot to there's just a lot going on and a lot to process.
Yeah,
Um,
and then on Sunday I have a lore video dropping so for the card. So that's happening. We're doing a high ground is building. The colors is I think fits our brand a lot better. Dylan did a really good job with building that. So these small little things is definitely leading us in the right direction for high ground in general.
Mile High said he'd rather us not do the do the card list. I think a hope going forward. I feel like we've given everyone enough time to get a leg up, don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I believe
Um,
so.
I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, and so I mean,
There's nothing that at this point there's nothing that we would say that we haven't said already or you haven't had an opportunity to do. So
I
I
think
think
it's
it's the
about
proper
time,
time. Yeah.
yeah, to put it out there. I appreciate you, Mile High, that you we say we know our comics,
Yeah.
which is big because I'm new into comics. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I look at this stuff so much
Listen,
that it's just there on my brain.
yeah. I mean, and the thing is I'm not so much new in the comics, but I'm very new into understanding everything about a specific comic.
You're new to being like the expert
Yes, yes,
of that
100%.
comic, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You said AIM is too low on our list. Um, I
I
mean,
get I
how big
it's
of a character is he? I like AIM. I have some of
I
his
think
cards.
I think
Um,
go ahead, Dylan, because I got a point after this, but I'm gonna let you go because it's
and no, I
yeah.
was just saying, I like the card. I like the skin. I rocked with it. I just don't know how major it could just be a robot that they sent. He could not get any lore. I think he's from the Ice Moon,
Mhm.
but we didn't see anything about that yet because he has frozen feet and he came from
Yeah.
the moon. So I don't know.
Uh,
He could get his day. I don't know.
I'll say this, that's what makes the lore cards unique. The sweat try hard skins, the meme skins, you can kind of mold a little differently. The lore ones
Hmm.
you have to wait.
Yeah,
Aim could technically be
he could be a sleeper.
he could be a sleeper just like Ice King. It's just that we don't know, and that's why I enjoy that side so much because
You
it's
know
like
what? Maybe we need a separate list,
separate list. I
and
think
the list
so.
has to be speculation cards or
Mhm.
speculation skins, right? Um, and maybe some people can be in multiple lists. Like we have to
Yeah,
figure out how we're going to do this,
yeah,
right? Because like Midas is both speculation and
and yes,
highly up on there, right?
yeah.
chaos agent,
Mhm,
speculation, and highly used. Um, I think speculation is something big, and the speculation happens in comics all the time.
mhm.
But I think because of the way Fortnite's building, it's super important. Like, there's so much opportunity for you to speculate and go about this your own way when you're collecting slash investing.
Yeah, and it's things like this. Like, so I have a thought before we do tier list next week, right? I have 3 cards, and I'm not even talking about these cards yet, or skins, I should say, characters. But I have one for you to think about. Mecha Team Leader, right? Is
Hmm.
is not how oh man, this is so hard because like Mecha Team Leader is literally like, bro, he's like Lord, like but he's a robot.
Yeah,
He's operated, so it's weird.
yeah,
Weird.
because he's not a person;
Yes, yes,
it's a thing.
yeah,
And
and
like how trying to think of another collectible or another like all right, look at this. What about the Star Wars? I'm not a big Star Wars guy. Um
I'm not
the
participating in
what's the
these.
spaceship called? The Falcon, the you know what I'm talking about though?
Nope.
Come on guys, Star Wars people. The y'all gonna fry me up here. Um the main ship that they have in Star Wars, the that people are always building with Legos and crap. Come on y'all. Someone. But that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Like that one was super important to
Yeah,
that
I give it to you.
community.
Yeah,
And so that's just a thing. So it could have that effect, but then again, it could just be like, yeah, the Millennium Falcon. There you go.
yeah.
Thank you. What are we, 50? But like that's what I'm saying. Like they like that, right? They like
Yeah,
that spaceship, right? And it's
mhm,
important to them. Or the Death Star too. Like
yeah,
it made a big impact to that
mhm.
community. Could the mech be that type
I
of
think
card?
I think so. Like it's too like okay, it
Is
was
it
one
that
of
powerful? It has to be because that they went
yeah,
all the way there to get it,
yeah.
right?
So where did and that's the type of questions I have because like that's why the list we do have to think this list through because that's one where do you even place him? Like where do you place him at? Like it's just
Mhm.
it's a tough one.
Where do you place it at, right? 'Cause not
My
him.
bad. Yes, it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Because it's
yeah.
a thing, right? And,
Because
like, should the thing be more important than some of the characters?
I
And I don't
think
know.
so. I think so, but I just don't know how much more important. And I'll say this also.
That's so unique.
The reason why I keep saying like him quote is because in my head I think of him as a transformer, but he's not.
He's not. He's just
He's
he's
a
a spaceship, basically.
it's a spaceship. It's
God
a
dang it. It's a spaceship,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it's like
Um
it's
Yeah,
hard, man.
that's a good point. But I mean, the comics made him a much bigger deal. He is also on the cover of the first Fortnite comic
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
the Fantastic Four. He's on the cover.
So what I feel is like, okay, there's certain lore characters that gets cemented. It doesn't mean that they're going to get more lore. It doesn't mean their story is going to continue on. But if they had a certain level of a moment, it doesn't mean that they become iconic, but
Mhm.
they have to fall into a certain category. And I don't know what that category is.
That's a good point. I haven't really thought it to that extent before.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes,
I don't know.
Zoe.
I mean, and how many of the loading screens are Mecha Team Leader?
Man, it's a lot of them.
If y'all haven't seen my awesome thing,
That is one of the best.
you got
Yeah,
three Mecha Team Leaders right there in front. I think that's
man.
all of them.
But even like I'm glad Joey brought this up. Tomato Head and Beef Boss. Those are two like it's so many that I don't know, man. It's hard. Like tomato, like I've y'all heard me. I don't have any Tomato Head cards. Maybe like a hollow or something. But Tomato Head and Beef Boss are another two like that. It's just it's hard, man. I can't wait till we do this tier list live and like go through it again because it's gonna get interesting.
I feel like in like 5 years, right, we're gonna look back. We're like, oh my gosh, I could have done
Everything.
this move.
Yeah.
I could have
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah.
How did I not see this? This is such a big
Mhm.
character. I wish I had gotten more of this. There's just so many different ways that you can approach this market.
100%.
I appreciate that, Richard. Yeah, I thanks, Kari. I like the display. I really like Reloaded. It's such a
Yeah.
undervalued set.
It is. It is. Yeah, man. I think. I think it's very interesting, like, because those are we were very rigid the first time, and obviously still will be. But I think figuring out exactly how to list them is going to be the hardest part about it.
Yeah, I think that I've been underestimating the mecha team leader also,
Hmm.
mainly because like at first I was like, well, it's not a real person. It's just the mech. It's just the mech from that season. But holy shit, they just made it like a huge plot.
Yeah,
Like what?
yeah.
I was like, you
It,
just made it so important, and like I guess because it can hold the 0 point. Like I don't know
mhm.
what it is about the mecha team leader that's so important to them. I can't remember.
Well, no, what you said is important though, because we're looking at it as a robot, which it is, but
Hmm.
technically it's a spaceship.
Yep.
It's
And it's
that's what
built out of something
yeah.
important, maybe.
And that's what makes it so important because it's their travel.
And
It's
it's
their
also Paradigm's the only one who can operate it.
only one.
And why? Why is it that complicated that only you can operate it? Like,
Yeah,
what's so special about it?
and it's like,
Um,
man,
oh, if they make so I mean, if they make the adventures of the Seven, right? If they make
yep,
that a comic, right? And they're
yeah,
flying around in their freaking mechs. I mean, that'd
yeah,
be kind of
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Like, and it seems as though this is their. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Yep, there you go. Another thing with the how the mecha team leader was built.
Hmm.
Was Singularity just that? Was
So
she the helping
I
hand?
started this episode off like, what's the most underrated skin slash character? And I said fish sticks. And maybe we have to put Mecha Team Leader up there too.
Yeah.
So if you watch through the whole thing, you got to
Yep.
see two. There you go. Because I
Yep.
think both of those are
It's
underrated. And I have neither of them, I will
mhm.
say.
And
Um,
I mean, and it's those, and that's why I think series two is so unique. Like, because like Mega Team Leader is major, but if you wanted to pair it, right, Devourer, he's right there. Like, and he's just a part of the storyline, but he's a major part of the lore
but
now. Like,
he's
it's
just something that escaped the Ice King, right?
yeah, he is
And but I feel like Mecha Team Leader. I feel like the Mecha Team Leader is above Devourer, right?
by a
Yeah,
long shot,
by a long
but
shot. Yeah.
and it's
I
just
just wanted
that
to be clear about that.
yeah, yeah, it's just that Devourer does have a solid lore, just not anywhere compared to Mecha Team Leader.
100%. I agree. All right, it is now 12 o'clock. We've been on live for 2 hours. Are there any last questions before we hop off? Um, I'm sure there's one lingering question. If not, this was a fun
This
episode
was a good one
tonight.
for sure.
Um, I'm excited for next week.
Yeah,
Next week will be the last week before
before.
the new season.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that.
Well,
I don't know if I've been this excited for a season in a while, but maybe I say that every season.
I'll say the last one we've been this excited for was Chapter 3, Season 1. I'll say that's the last time.
Okay, I mean, I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
super excited for that.
we pretty much started around that time.
That's true.
That was around the time we started. So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, seasons
yeah,
last pretty long. That makes
yeah,
sense. Um, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
All right.
y'all. If y'all haven't already, please like and subscribe. We will highly appreciate it. It helps us out a lot, and we will see y'all next week.
Thanks, guys.